8 of the high school football season, and we're talking with Underwood head coach Nate McKailson. His team has a big matchup with Kemper Catholic coming up on Friday night for a district championship. You can watch it on the KMA video stream. Nick Stavas and John Tarks will have the call of that one. Coach, I guess just first off, 7-0 heading into this one. Been pretty dominant throughout the entire season, especially over the last couple of games. How are you guys feeling right now as we head into the final week of the regular season?
We feel pretty good. We're, for the most part, we're through 7 weeks of the season, and we're pretty healthy. So that's
8 of the high school football season, and we're talking with Underwood head coach Nate McKailson. His team has a big matchup with Kemper Catholic coming up on Friday night for a district championship. You can watch it on the KMA video stream. Nick Stavas and John Tarks will have the call of that one. Coach, I guess just first off, 7-0 heading into this one. Been pretty dominant throughout the entire season, especially over the last couple of games. How are you guys feeling right now as we head into the final week of the regular season?
We feel pretty good. We're, for the most part, we're through 7 weeks of the season, and we're pretty healthy. So that's the main thing. But we feel pretty good. Obviously, there's things that we see every Friday night that we need to clean up and get better at. But the kids are got obviously a really big opportunity this Friday night.
Yeah, your team opened the year playing Lewis Central in a Week 0 game. I know that game has since been stricken from the record books in terms of wins and losses. But just to be able to get out there and to play a team like that, that's as talented as they are, and you guys were very much in that game. How big of a learning opportunity, a learning experience was that for your team to go against a team like that and take things away from it?
I think it was a huge learning opportunity, and I'd say that's the number one thing that we considered in taking that game. We kind of wanted to find out where we were, early in the season. And to be very honest, we wanted to be able to identify our weaknesses right away. And we knew that Lewis Central obviously is a team who's going to expose any weakness we have. And so I think we were able to address a lot of the things we weren't doing well right away in the season. And I also think you could also see some of the things that maybe were the strengths of our team at the time, the things that we could rely on at that point in the year. More than anything, the takeaway from that game is our kids competed at a really high level. We had our opportunities in that game. That's a very, very good team, an excellent team, and a team. We kind of went into that game thinking this is, no matter how far we get in, the postseason or wherever, this could quite possibly be the best team we see all year, and that's kind of the reason we took that game, and we got a lot out of it, and I hope we're better for it down the road.
Offensively, of course, you've got a very experienced quarterback in Alex Ravlin, and in the ground game has found some success this year as well. So it looks like a pretty balanced offensive attack. What is sticking out to you on that side of the football?
Well, first and foremost, that's what we strive to be. We don't go into any game saying we're going to run the ball this many times or pass the ball this many times. We kind of let the game dictate itself that way. But yeah, we do tend to be a pretty balanced team in terms of running and throwing the ball, and that's what we'd like to do. We feel like that's the best way to keep defenses on their toes. We've had the ability with several of our quarterbacks here the last 5 or 6 years have the ability to throw it at a high level. Alex is playing really well right now. He's seen the field pretty well. We've got a group of 4 receivers that have played a lot of football that are helping him out. We've got 3 running backs right now that are running the ball at a high level. Our offensive line, I think, is making progress. I would say maybe they were a strong point of our team early in the year just because of their experience, and they've kind of taken that leadership role over and been pretty consistent for us. And our defense the last 2 weeks hasn't allowed any points. There's been points in time where we need to stop, especially stopping the run a little bit better, but we buckle down and get stops when we need to, and that's going to be huge this Friday night is being able to do our best to limit a really, really good offense.
Yeah, let's talk about that matchup now. Kemper Catholic also comes in; they're undefeated. They've got a really, really good offense. As you prepare for this matchup, what sticks out to you on tape?
Just how multidimensional they are, the playmakers that they have. I mean, I think the quarterback stands out on film as a kid who has elite arm talent. We saw him last year at the end of the year as a sophomore in our game, and you could tell that if he made some development, that he was going to be a really, really good player, and that's exactly what he's done. I think I don't know his numbers exactly, but he has a high amount of touchdowns and a low amount of interceptions, so that's exactly what you want to see out of your quarterback. I think they've got two really good running backs they can hand the ball off to. One kid's a little bit a scatty back, and it's got some really good speed. The other one has good speed too, but he's a little bit more maybe between the tackles, runs really hard. Their offensive line plays extremely hard. I would say they're not a huge group up front, but they get after it and they run the ball really, really effectively. And the defense, I would say, is comparable to maybe ours in terms of they're making a lot of plays on the defensive end. I know they got a pick six the other night in their game against Trainer, so they've got a lot of athletes in the back end, and they're not allowing many points week in and week out either. So we're definitely going to have our hands full on Friday night. It's a game that has on paper looks like it's gonna come down to the wire.
Yeah, DJ Vanami, the Kemper quarterback you're referring to, 16 passing touchdowns, also 6 rushing touchdowns for the year. When you're preparing for a quarterback like this that's versatile, and I'm sure you guys see this a lot too with Alex Ravlin, what do you feel are the biggest keys for containing his playmaking and really their offense as a whole?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we're going to obviously devise a game plan this week, and I think the thing is we really preach to our kids on a weekly basis. Do your job. What's your job on a specific play? That's the job that you need to focus on. You don't need to make a play that's not yours. I think that's going to be key on Friday night. I think we need to have guys in position. And I think we also need to understand, and our kids do understand because we talk about it, there's going to be points in time during a game when a special player is going to make plays no matter how well you defend it, and we know that. He's going to make plays on Friday night. We understand that. It's going to what the key is going to be is after that play that he makes, are we able to get next play? Are we able to set up a second and long? Are we able to do our job that next play and not have continuous plays where we're out of position or give up big plays? I think it'll be key to every single person defensively to do their job, and with the understanding that they're a really good team and they're going to make plays and they're going to move the ball and they're going to score points. We'll talk to our kids at length about that this week and luckily, I think we've got a lot of mature football players that have played a lot of meaningful football, and they understand kind of what's in front of them.
Yeah, and this is a game that whoever wins this is going to win the district, and most likely the path to get to where both teams want to get, which is Cedar Falls, is probably going to be maybe a little bit easier. Not that it's easy by any means at all. Is there any talk of what's at stake, or what's the approach with that?
There's not going to be talk from on our end about the playoff path. Honestly, it's not something that we'll address. I mean, I guess from the way I think about it is our kids, I think with the games that they've been in the past, they kind of understand, I guess, what's at stake, and they understand what a win would mean from a playoff standpoint, what a loss would be from a standpoint. I don't have to stand up and tell them that. But I think, one thing that we've kind of already addressed with our kids is the fact that Underwood has never won back-to-back district championships in the history of the school. I mean, we've had some really, really good teams. And this would be an opportunity for us to kind of those seniors stamp their legacy on the program by winning back-to-back championships. So we've kind of talked all year along about, all we can do each week is go 1-0. If we go 1-0 each week, we don't have to worry about, the way. They know that, they understand that, they have confidence, in their own abilities, and we'll just kind of move forward that way.
Again, that is Underwood head football coach Nate McHale. Coach, we appreciate the time today. Thank you, and best of luck on Friday night.
Thanks, Trevor. I appreciate it.
Steinkamp, head football coach at Kemper Catholic. His team is set for a district title matchup with Underwood coming up this Friday. A couple of undefeated teams going at it. Coach, first, before we get into the matchup with Underwood, let's go back to last week. A big game with Trainer, and you guys jumped out early and often and got a 42-7 win. What did you like that you saw from your guys last Friday night in Trainer?
We faced an adversity early. We had a few things not go our way. Few hiccups here or there too, but overall I thought the line got a lot better as the game went on too. I thought defense was sound the whole game, so it's nice to see us face a little bit of adversity against a good Trainer team and then be able to make the plays to bounce back.
Yeah. When you look at this season just as a whole, I mean, you guys have put together a fantastic run here as of late. What about this group has kind of clicked? What's made them so special in terms of being able to just come out week in and week out and get wins?
We know our main goal this year, our foundation is about player leadership. Let the kids taking control. They've bought into our system, anything we're doing. So a lot of it comes down to the kids making plays. We coaches were trying to do our best for them in good situations, but then it's just them out there and trusting it and making plays. So it's great to see. We've got a good group. We've got a good group of seniors. The juniors are improving. Sophomores are starting to get a grasp of it as well. So it's just great to see the whole thing come together.
Yeah. Up next is a battle with Underwood for a district championship. The Eagles have put together a fantastic season in their own right. When you look at them on film, I'm sure the challenges they present are numerous. But what are some of the big things that stand out when you see Underwood play?
Oh, they have a big physical line. They have a lot of good skill players. They're pretty. They're not one-sided at all. They run the ball, they pass the ball is spread out too, so they're very balanced. It makes it tricky for a defense. So we'll have to make sure all 11 guys are ready all the time. And then defensively, they play fast and aggressive.
Yeah. What's going to be the key for you on offense to try to move the ball against their defense? They've been good at forcing turnovers. They got a lot of speed. What's it going to take for you guys to be able to move the ball up and down the field?
I think a lot of it is just being able to take care of the ball, be able to sustain our blocks and take what's there for us. We don't need home run plays or anything like that. Just take the yard that's in front of us too, and just keep grinding and keep those sticks moving.
What about the keys, the focus and practice this week? What are some of the things you're bringing up with the guys that they need to do well on Friday night? Just as a whole to come out with a win.
Each position has their jobs and assignments. Just really talk about how being focused on. We can't have a lapse, or if something bad does happen, about picking each other up, staying positive. A lot of it is communicating and building that confidence up. It's hard to replicate practice from a good team like Underwood, but it's just them getting to understand their job, putting the time in the film room, spending time on those type of deals where we're prepared. It'll be huge for us.
Looking forward to this one on Friday night. Underwood and Kemper Catholic for a district championship. Ryan Steinkamp, the head football coach at Kemper Catholic. Coach, we appreciate the time as always. Best of luck on Friday night.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Week 8 of Friday Night Lights is here. Good evening and welcome into the KMAX stream. I'm Nick Stamas coming to you live from Carroll, Iowa as we get set for the Class 1A District 8 championship game between the visiting Underwood Eagles and the home team Kemper Catholic Knights. Underwood comes into this game ranked number 2 in Class 1A and has looked every bit a state title contender through 7 games. Led by senior quarterback Alex Ravlin, the Eagles have yet to win a game by less than 37 points this year and have run roughshod through District 8, seeking their second straight district title for the first time in school history. On the other side, Kemper has been somewhat of a surprise this season. The Knights won a meager 6 games in 2020 and 2021 combined, but this year has been a different story. DJ Vanami and co. are unbeaten entering tonight and are fresh off a 42-7 trouncing of Trainer a week ago. Tonight, they'll look to dethrone the Juggernaut Eagles and secure their first district title since 2016. I now welcome in my partner up here in this nice, toasty, warm booth, the man, the myth, the coach, Coach John Tarks. Coach, how's it going?
Hey, I tell you what, this is the nicest press box we've ever been in. This heater's all right. I think really this is all right. I'm way on board with the accommodations this evening.
Let's talk about this game. Obviously, it's cold out there. We're warm in here. The wind. First of all, before we get to either of these teams, talk about what kind of factor the elements play tonight. It's going to be sub 40 degrees after kickoff. The wind is well upwards of 25 miles an hour. How does that affect how either team plays tonight?
Well, it probably puts the emphasis down on the offensive and defensive lines, and just taking care of the football, making sure when you do have that wind in your favor that you turn that plus yardage into something that's really, really beneficial for you. So I think, though, when you get your opportunities, you're only going to have half as many tonight as you typically do just because of the conditions. But, don't feel too bad for the kids. It could be worse out here tonight.
Absolutely. Let's get right into this game. Let's talk about the visiting Underwood Eagles first. Coming into the game, ranked number 2 in Class 1A. Have really yet to be tested so far this season. They've won every game by a lot of points. So what do you expect from Coach Mikhailson and that squad over there on the far sideline tonight?
Yeah, I think the first quarter is really interesting for Underwood tonight. I mean, just how they come out, how they line up. I mean, it's been since week 0 since they played Lewis Central, since they were in a really competitive contest. But in the same token, this is a team that's kind of been through the battles before. A lot of these kids playing tonight played a year ago and even a year previous with the Ravlin kids. So while they haven't had a lot of battle tests this year, they've certainly had it in the past.
And let's talk about the Kemper Knights last week. Beat up on Trainer 42-7. I was at that game. I was very impressed with DJ Vanami, the quarterback. Threw 4 touchdowns, ran for 1 as well. He is a certified playmaker, and the Kemper defense allowing just 8 points per game so far this season. That is something that Underwood has not faced yet. So what do you expect to see from Kemper and Coach Steinkamp's boys tonight?
Athletically, Kemper will match up with Underwood as well as anybody has since they played Lewis Central, and I think that's something that Underwood needs to be ready for, and Kemper does as well. But both these teams, it's been such a, the district hasn't been very, very difficult this year. So both these teams, tonight's going to be the first real meaningful contest they played in over a month.
Yeah, exactly, and it just so happens to be the last game of the regular season. Lots of stakes on the line here. You win this game, you possibly secure home field advantage throughout the playoffs until the Dome. I would assume the Domes are in the sights of both of these teams. The district championship is on the line. This would be Kemper's first in 6 years. This would be Underwood's first back-to-back district champion ever. So what does this game mean, and what are you telling your teams if you're either coach about the magnitude of tonight?
Well, both these programs are reaching higher. I mean, tonight's very important to both. Underwood's been more, in the last 2 or 3 years, has been more on the scene, more, that game short of the Dome couple years here, whereas Kemper's trying to reestablish, they got some of the trophies in their case in their past that Underwood would like to have. And so in recent history, Underwood's probably got a little more success to them. But all that doesn't really matter right now. The trophies in the past, what's gone on in recent year, it comes down to the 7 games that have happened so far, and then the 8th one tonight. So.
Yeah, and absolutely, and it looks like we are just about to get going here in Carroll. The Class 1A District 8 title is on the line. 7-0 Underwood, ranked number 2 in Class 1A. 7-0 Kemper, ranked number 4 in Class 1A, and we have it right here on the KMAX stream. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm glad you're joining us, and it's going to be Tommy Fitzsimmons to kick it deep here. Kemper will boot it first. Underwood will have the ball to start this game. Josh Ravlin and Mason Booth be back to receive here for the Underwood Eagles, and it's Boothby to take it at the 5-yard line. Gets out across the 10 to the 15, and he's working away around on the far sideline, and he's out of bounds at about the 19-yard line, and that is where Alex Ravlin and the Underwood offense will set up shop. And, Coach, what are you looking for from the Underwood offense tonight?
Well, I'm looking for Alex Ravlin to really play error-free football. You know, first part of the season was characterized by some turnovers and maybe some choices that he would have liked to have had back, and over the last, 3 weeks, he's really cleaned that up. So I think it'll be important for him to play the way he has over the course of the last month for this game to go the way Underwood would like.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Underwood from their own 18-yard line. Ravlin comes out in the shotgun. Josh Ravlin goes in motion. He takes the snap. It's a handoff up the middle, and it gets some yardage out across the 20 to the 23. And I believe that is Maddox Nelson on the carry for Underwood on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. The Eagle offensive line, I think, is maybe just a notch above where they've been in previous years, and I think that's part of the reason they're maybe just a little bit more of a contender this year than they've been.
So it'll be 2nd down and 6. Shotgun snap for Alex Ravlin. He's back to pass. He has a little time. Now he's flushed out. Steps up in the pocket, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield right at the line of scrimmage, actually. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6.
And that's some of the athleticism that Kemper's going to bring to the field that the Eagles haven't seen for a while. Windows that have been wide open for Alex are going to be tighter tonight. He's going to have to make decisions quicker, faster. When that window's available, he's going to have to take it.
3rd down and a long 6 for the Eagles here on the opening possession. 2 receivers on either side of Ravlin, who's in the shotgun. Maddox Nelson stands to his left. The shotgun snap to Ravlin. He's back to pass. He has time. Now he's going to look to the outside, and it is dropped. It was in the hands on the far sideline of Wyatt Baker. He's unable to haul it in, and that'll be a 3 and out on the first possession for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's too bad for the Eagles senior. That's just been a little bit of a bugaboo for him kind of throughout the season, just a little bit hot and cold with the reliability of his hands. And interesting watching Kemper here kind of running their punt return team on the field like they were somehow surprised by this outcome or something.
Wyatt Baker definitely had a couple issues with drops, but when he catches the ball, he is effective. 11 catches for 252 yards on the season. He will be a weapon to watch. The punt is in the air, and it is fielded at the 45-yard line by Carson Canny, and that is where Kemper will take over. So what are you expecting here from DJ Vanami, who's really come on in his junior season? He played a little bit last year, wasn't great, polished himself in the offseason. He has been fantastic all year for the Knights, and what do you expect from him?
Well, when you look out on the field, he's certainly the athlete on both sides of the ball that catches your attention. So he needs to be the man tonight. If Kemper's going to capture the district title, he's going to be the reason that they do. So I'm looking to feature him in every which way possible, each and every down all night long.
So Vanami comes out in the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Logan Siebenaller to start the game, and he has a hole out across midfield, and down to about the 47-yard line goes Siebenaller, and that will be a gain of 8, and it'll bring up 2nd and 2.
That's one thing I think if Kemper, if they can get right north and south on Underwood's defense. Underwood's defense is built for speed. They're not built for mass and power. They don't play real heavy in their defensive line. And if Kemper can get north and south just like they did on 1st down, that could bode well for them this evening.
Shotgun snap on 2nd and 2. Handoff up the middle. It's Siebenaller again. And he gets out inside the 45, has a 1st down to the 42. So a good push up front on the first 2 offensive snaps there for Kemper, John.
Yeah, not making a lot of bones about what they want to do. Those have been A-gap plays right out the block, 2 for 2. Go out and grab 12, 13 yards in the first 2 plays. Kind of telling Underwood, let's see what you got,
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Kemper in plus territory. Man in motion. The snap is going to be another handoff. Off tackle this time to Siebenaller. He waits. He patiently, and he finds a hole up the middle, and breaking tackles has the 1st down inside the 30-yard line of the 29. First contact was out of the line of scrimmage. He stays on his feet and gets 11 yards for a 1st down.
Yeah, fabulous job running by the back there. As you go through the course of a season and you talk about that 37-point spread, those tackles have come pretty easy. Tonight, those tackles are going to come a lot harder.
Definitely the biggest test of the year for both squads. Kemper has a really good win on their record over Greene County, but that was in week 3 of the season, so it has been a while since either of these teams have been tested like they will be tonight. and we'll see who gets the best of it. Right now, it's Kemper marching down the field with a 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line of Underwood. Shotgun here for Vanami. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Man in motion. It's going to be a handoff. This is, I believe that's Siebenoller out around the edge, and he has about 4 yards down to the 25-yard line, and for a second I thought the ball came out. But he's down at the 25.
The refs are kind of posturing like something's going on.
Yeah,
but
I thought there might have been a flag down. And it looks like there is. We'll see what they call. It's holding on the offense. So that is one penalty that you do not want if you're Coach Steinkamp and the Knights here, with momentum moving forward. And then the penalty sets them back to the 35. It'll be 1st down and about 15.
Yeah, Kemper's done a nice job here in the first 3 minutes. Hold Underwood to a 3-and-out, take advantage of field position, go about plus 20 yards on special teams there, and then be able to run the ball. So something like this is really their first setback of the evening.
1st down and 15 yards to go. Ball on the Underwood 35. Shotgun snap here for Vanami. He's going to fake the handoff. Looks to the outside. Caught by Chris Moore on the near sideline. Inside the 30. Inside the 25. He's close to the 1st down. They mark him out at the 22. It's a gain of 13, and it makes it a 2nd and 3.
Boy, that's certainly a nice play. Underwood with lots of pressure on Vanami. But, boy, he found his hot really, really quickly, and there was space to move there. Really nice play design by the Kemper staff.
Chris Moore, one of the he kind of epitomizes the term scat back. They'll hand it off to him on jet sweeps. They'll run him out in swing routes. They kind of do all kinds of different things with him. He's also a pretty big contributor on the defensive side of the ball. It'll be 2nd down and 3, and we get an offsides, and that's going to be a free 1st down on the hard count for the Knights.
Yeah, Underwood's just a little off balance right now. Not used to getting pushed around a little bit like they're getting tonight. They're going to need to acclimate to the game and really get into the fight here quickly.
Well, and what's interesting, when you look at the rosters and the size difference between Underwood's line and Kemper's line, Underwood is significantly bigger, but right now Kemper getting a really good push up front. They have 1st and 10 in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Vanami in the shotgun. He's got a bunch set to his left. He's going to fake the handoff. No, he's going to hand it off to DJ Vanami, who gets outside, breaks a few tackles, still on his feet inside the 5. And down to the 3-yard line goes DJ Vanami, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Knights on their first drive of the game.
It's going to be interesting to see as Kemper continues to have success just flat running the ball, if this kind of lighter defensive line philosophy that the Eagles have had for a couple, 2 or 3 years now, if they stay with it. I know they've got some bigger kids over there that can certainly get in the mix.
I formation now. We saw Kemper do this last week. It's going to be a quarterback sneak for DJ Vanami, and we have a flag down. The play is blown dead. Vanami stands 6'3", definitely a guy that you can afford to sneak up the middle, but that time it was blown dead. It's going to be a... What was the call there, John?
It looked like a false start by the offense. I mean, sometimes these offenses, these spread offenses, they want to reach back to their roots as under center game. And there's just something about it changes the rhythm of how the kids are used to, the snap count, whatever. And you see stuff like that happen.
8:07 to go here in the first quarter. Underwood went 3-and-out on their first possession. Kemper marching down the field. They have 1st and goal from the 8 on their first drive of the game. It's an I formation again. 2 receivers split out to the right. Vanami under center. He takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff. He rolls out to his right. He flips it to Chris Moore, who could not hang on. Excuse me, that's Logan Siebenoller here on the near side. Siebenoller had Sam Schoening closing in on him, heard the footsteps, couldn't hang on to the ball at 2nd down.
Yeah, that looked like that was at least why he was going to get the penalty yards back, but ball was just a little beyond his reach. The thing that's impressive about this Kemper drive so far is, your main guy hasn't had to really do a whole lot for you to be successful right now.
Yeah, Vanami has, other than that one little flip pass to Chris Moore here on the near sideline, it's been mainly handoffs for Kemper all the way down the field. They have 2nd and goal from the 8 now, 7:49 to go in the first quarter. Shotgun look here for Vanami. 2 receivers split out to the left, 1 to the right. It's going to be a fake, the handoff, an RPO, a look to the end zone for Trevor Ryle, and he overshot him. Ryle was open. He shook Josh Ravlin on the coverage, but Vanami could not hit him, and it brings up 3rd and goal.
Interesting, yeah. Really, just a lot of – you could just feel everybody kind of clenched up on that play. The comfortability out of Vanami wasn't great, and it led to a pass that just wasn't very accurate.
So it will be 3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line for Kemper on their opening drive of the game. And this would be, I imagine, a really big stop for Underwood if they're able to come up with it here. Shotgun here for Vanami. One receiver split out to his left, two to his right. Siebenaller goes in motion, comes in tight, takes the snap. It's going to be a fake handoff, and now the pressure coming. Flips it to Chris Moore. Moore breaks a tackle inside the 5, reaches for the pylon. Touchdown, Kemper. Chris Moore from DJ Vanami for the 8-yard score, and the Knights strike first.
That's going to be a tackle opportunity that Alex Ravlin's going to wish he had back. It looked like he was going to stop the guy at about the 3-yard line, and not to be had.
So the Knights strike first. They go 55 yards for the score, capped off by an 8-yard touchdown pass from DJ Vanami to Chris Moore on 3rd and goal. And now Tommy Fitzsimmons out to try the extra point for the Knights. He's 39 for 39 on the season. Good snap, good hold. Kick is good. And that will make it 7-0 Kemper. So the Knights on the board. They take the lead. We'll be right back here on the KMAX stream.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood, when you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa, 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
Welcome back into the KMAX stream. Nick Stamas alongside John Tarks up here in the booth in Carroll. 7:36 to go in the first quarter. Kemper with a touchdown on their opening possession of the game. 55 yards for the score, capped off by DJ Vanami's 8-yard touchdown pass to Chris Moore. Now the kick deep is fielded by Mason Boothby at the 7-yard line. He's going to go for the far sideline again. He has a block. He gets to the outside, and he's across the 20. A little burst of speed out across the 25, and they mark him out at the 27. So Underwood trailing for the first time since week 0. And what's the message from Coach McHaleson over there on the far sideline?
There's no reason to panic. There's a lot of close, could have had a first down on the first possession, could have had that possession stopped down for a field goal, but it is important for Underwood to respond right now.
So Alex Ravlin will come out in an empty formation. He's got trips to the right. Now he motions in Maddox Nelson. And the play is a handoff up the middle to Nelson, and he didn't get much, maybe a yard or two on the carry. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 8 to go for Underwood. So far the Eagles have run 4 plays and gained 4 yards, and that is not something we're used to seeing from an Underwood offense that puts up over 50 points a game.
Yeah, it looks to me like Kemper, just from an assignment and alignment standpoint, is really cramming guys at the line of scrimmage, daring Underwood to throw the ball.
Handoff up the middle to Nelson again, and once again doesn't go far, out to the 30-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd and a long 6, maybe 7 yards to go here. 6:46 to go here in the first quarter. 3rd down and 6 from their own 30. Shotgun snap for Ravlin, looks to the outside. He has Josh Ravlin. No, he doesn't. Ball is knocked away at the last second, incomplete. Well defended there on the play by Jake Hausman, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Interesting play call from Underwood, throwing short of the sticks. Even if it would have been completed, the Knights right on the scene to make the play. And you can certainly see them playing 1 high, 2 high based upon down and distance. Played 1 high on 1st and 2nd down, very, very run-heavy defense. Then they went to 2 high on 2nd down. So those are things the Eagle staff will need to adjust for.
Snap is high. Alex Ravlin handles it, and he gets off a pretty good punt here. That's going to land at the 41-yard line and take an Eagle roll all the way down inside the 30 to the 29. And this is a fired-up Kemper sideline right now, Coach Tarks. And what is, how does Underwood stop this Kemper rushing attack?
Well, they're going to have to be gap sound up front. They're going to need guys like Wyatt Baker to really step in there and really get in his gap, get downhill. They're going to need guys like Gage Savin to play just a little more lead in his pencil than he traditionally would. But I think you're going to see Coach Ritter get a little creative on the run blitz side of things, get guys downhill, backers may be moving the alignment up a couple 2 or 3 yards. Get those guys in the gap so these gashes don't get as big as they have been.
Shotgun here for Vanami on first down. He has trips to his right. He takes the snap. It's a speed option. This is Logan Siebenaller on the pitch. Breaks a tackle across the 30, and then he's brought down at the 33-yard line. Another broken tackle, another missed tackle by that Underwood defense, John.
Yeah, it didn't hurt him as much this time, but really nice job by senior Wyatt Baker flowing over the top, really directly playing assignment, getting downhill on the quarterback, forcing that pitch quickly.
So it'll be 2nd down and 6, I guess, from their own 33-yard line. It was a 4-yard gain by Siebenaller on that run. Shotgun here for Vanami. Man in motion, that's Siebenaller, and a shotgun snap is the fake, the handoff, back to pass, and looking deep to the outside for Chris Moore, and he has it on the far sideline, and he's brought out of bounds at the Underwood 48-yard line. A beautiful pitch and catch from DJ Vanami to Chris Moore, and that's a big gain for a first down for the Knights.
I don't know if that was a pick play or not, but that little wheel route certainly confused the Underwood defenders.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Underwood 48. Trips to the right for Vanami. Fakes the handoff to Siebenaller. Keeps it himself. Bounces it to the outside. Does not get far. And we have a flag down on the far sideline as Vanami was taken out of bounds for no gain. We'll see what the call is in the area of holding. And it is on Kemper, it appears, and officially it is. So that will move Kemper back once again. Last time it didn't matter, so this is a spot I feel like you really have to take advantage of for Underwood with the Knights behind the sticks.
One of the biggest things Underwood's got to do is when you're late to alignment, this troubled Nebraska early in the season, when you're late to alignment, it's hard to play really aggressive defensive football, and you're watching Underwood kind of scramble to alignment here to get set up to what they're doing, and I think it's putting them on their heels on how they play right now.
It'll be 1st down and 20 from the 42-yard line, and it looks like we got a offsides again. Dead ball. And that's going to be encroachment on Underwood, so 5 of those yards goes back to the Knights. It'll move it up to the 47-yard line. It'll bring up 1st down and 15 now.
Yeah, you begin to see Coach Ritter starting to dial some stuff up. We need to force this thing wide. We need to spill what's going on right now. You can't afford to have Kemper just going right downhill on you.
1st down and 15 from their own 47. Vanami on the speed option. Tries to find a hole. Actually, yeah, this is Vanami down to the 50, so at midfield he's brought down a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd down at about 12.
And he made the right decision on the option there, just to eat that ball a couple 2 or 3 yards. Don't pitch that sucker out.
What was the phrase you used?
Never pitch and stress or in a mess, and he was in both right there.
So a 3-yard gain there on 1st down. It'll bring up 2nd and 12 now. 5:09 to go in the first quarter. Kemper with a 7-0 lead, trying to add to it. Ball at midfield, trips to the left for Vanami. Siebenaller motions out there. Back to passes Vanami. He has a little time now. He's flushed out. Pressure coming. He's going to flip it to the outside to Siebenaller, who has it at the 45, and a nice open field tackle there by Schoening, I believe.
I think that might have been Maddox Nelson
It was
out there.
actually Maddox Nelson out there. He's brought down at the 44-yard line, 43-yard line. So it's a gain of about 8 yards, and then it'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Knights.
You're seeing some of DJ's, broken play ability there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
saw it a lot last week.
That could have been a sack. He's kind of running around, and then he's big to see over top of a lot of what's going on there too when you get all that mess.
He can run, but he keeps his eyes downfield the entire time trying to find that open man. That time he did, and it will not be the last time we see that from him tonight. It'll be 3rd down and 5 now. Quick to the line as Kemper trips to the right for Vanami. Takes the snap. He's back to pass. He rolls out. He has time. He's going to cut back to the other side, being chased down by the offense. By the defense. Fires it across the middle of the field. It's incomplete. Pass was intended for, I believe, Siebenaller, and that will bring up 4th down. So, again, Vanami extending the play, but that time really good coverage downfield by Underwood.
Yeah, he's as good as I've seen all year. Even thinking back to the camera kid at Lewis Central, it's just extending the play, keeping things going. At Underwood, you may need to look at subbing some guys in your defensive line just a little bit more than usual because you're pass rushing. You're going to expend some energy tonight that you haven't most of the season.
4:02 to go in the first quarter. It'll be 4th down and 5 from the Underwood 43. Kemper electing the punt here early in the game. And the punt is away by Chris Moore, and Mason Boothby is just going to let that one roll into the end zone. A little bit of a risky play there by Boothby, because if that takes a weird bounce, you are pinned deep.
Well, he was making me nervous standing with his heels on the 5-yard line. Man, I tell you what, when this guy was doing it, if your heels were anywhere behind that 10, we were going to have a real chit-chat about life. So, anyway, but now if he kick her out in the 20 on the touchback and see if Underwood can get on track here.
So Underwood will have 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Unable to get a first down yet in this game. Empty formation now as Maddox Nelson motions into the slot. Shotgun snap for Ravlin. It's a quarterback keeper up the middle, and he gets smoked right at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go there. And I believe that is John Bass on the stop, as well as Kyle Sundrup for the Knights, and they closed in on him fast.
Well, they sure did. I don't know if that was a blitz of some capacity from the outside backer or what they had there, but there was no shot for Ravlin.
Shotgun here for Ravlin. Fakes the handoff back to pass. He's going to look deep to the outside for Josh Ravlin, who has it at the 40. Ravlin down the sideline, breaks a tackle to the 45. He's gone. No flags on the play. Touchdown, Eagles. Alex Ravlin to Josh Ravlin. It's a 58-yard completion for the touchdown. And Underwood is an extra point away from tying it up.
Well, you know, we said gone. And then Chris Moore.
He
thought,
just about caught him.
I tell you what, if I'm the Kemper track coach, I've got that kid's phone number in my phone and probably in the favorites list too. He narrowed that up, fast.
Almost DK Metcalf in there. That was impressive.
Yeah.
But either way, is a touchdown. Ravlin to Ravlin, the brother connection. And Underwood is an extra point away from tying this thing up. Gus Bayshore out to try the extra point for the Eagles. 3:16 to go in the first quarter. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and Bayshore knocks it through, and that will make it 7-7. Tie game here in Carroll. We'll be right back on the KMA Extreme.
Group, we take a disciplined approach to marketing. We understand that education and experience must be at the forefront of your decision-making process, and we also understand that all farms manage risk differently. This is Tim again with the ARC Group. I would like to meet with you, learn about your operation, understand your short and long-term goals, and then together we form a plan to maximize profitability on your farm. Call me at 712-370-3497 or visit us at agrisconsulting.net.
Welcome back into the KMA Extreme. Nick Stavis alongside John Tarks up here in the booth in Carroll. 3:16 to go in the first quarter. Underwood has tied it up on the 76-yard touchdown pass from Alex Ravlin to his brother Josh Ravlin. And we have quite the game. This is going to be a little bit of a squid kick fielded at about the 12-yard line, and he's going to be brought down at the 22. So Trevor Ryle on the return doesn't get much. And Underwood has tied this thing up, John. Now what do you need to see from the defense to stop a Kemper team that has moved the ball every time they've had it?
Yeah, they got to really own just anything inside. A gap, B gap, C gap. Close that down. Force these guys wide. Don't let them come right downhill. If I'm Coach Ritter, those tackles are going to be pinching. We're going to be owning the B gaps. I'm going to have Hunnicky getting on that center. We're going to be recreating the line of scrimmage. And I'm going to let my fast guys flow over the top and become factors in this game.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Kemper from their own 22-yard line. Worst field position of the night so far for the Knights. Shotgun snap, and it's a handoff to Siebenaller on the jet sweep, and he does not get far, down to about the 25, 26-yard line. Gain of a couple will bring up second down.
Feels a little bit like right now. When this thing gets north and south, advantage Kemper. When it gets east and west, advantage Underwood. And that's just by design of the defense.
So that will be, I'll bring up 2nd and 6. It's a gain of 4 on the first down play. Vanami in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his right. The snap, fake the handoff. Now pump fake to Siebenaller. Now he goes to him, and he is smoked here on the near sideline by Alex Ravlin, the quarterback, who also plays safety. But Siebenaller might have gotten the first down. We're going to see where they mark him. He's out at the 32-yard line, and that is right where the sticks are. And they're going to give him the first down, and the chains will move.
Yeah, that was, again, another one of those swing routes. That's twice tonight we've seen Von Ami being able to complete one of those and really, really stretch the pursuit angles of the Underwood defense.
So it will be first down and 10 from their own 32. Handoff up the middle. This is Vanami, and he is brought down at the 34. Gain of 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Now that was a chance there where Underwood, being a little slow to alignment, played to their advantage because Savin was a little late getting over there, and he kind of sneaks in the B gap. The tackle sucks down, and then Nelson comes off the edge as the outside backer, and boom, he's right there to make the play. So I don't think that's the kind of chaos that they coach, but it created what they wanted.
Again, we are seeing both of these teams get challenged defensively for sure, and offensively for that matter, really more than they ever have so far this season. It's going to be a handoff to Vanami on 2nd down. We have a flag on the far sideline. Play is blown dead. Looks like we may have a formation or motion penalty of some sort. It's actually going to be encroachment again on Underwood. So the 3rd time tonight Underwood has jumped on the defensive line.
Yeah, you got to quit giving away those things. You know, it could turn into that one first down, that one series where you do something like that makes the difference in the game. As competition rises, the room for error decreases, and those are things Underwood's got to get out of the system.
So it'll be second. It goes from 2nd and 8 to 2nd and 3. Ball on their own 39 now for Kemper. DJ Vanami in the shotgun, and they jumped again. Wow. So a 4th offside penalty on the Eagles, and whatever DJ Vanami is doing in the hard count is getting this defensive front from Underwood every single time.
Yeah, and that kind of starts to get into your frustration, gets into your head just a little bit. 4 of those in 1 quarter. That's not what Underwood wants in any way, shape, or form.
Coach McHaleson talked about winning first down. And they won first down on that series. It was 2nd and 8, and then 2 straight offsides penalties, and it's a free first down for the Knights. 1st and 10 from their own 44. Back to pass is DJ Vanami. He's going to look deep down the near sideline. This is Benjamin Gherkin, and he overshot him. Gherkin had a step on Josh Ravlin, but Vanami overthrows him, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Underwood's had Ravlin playing on the roof the last 3 weeks. Now he slides back to corner with Schoening being available again this week. So Underwood's got a few guys just kind of getting used to spots that they haven't been in for a bit.
So it will be 2nd down and 10 from their own 44 for the Knights. Exactly 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. A wild first quarter so far. Vanami comes out at an empty set, trips to his right. Siebenaller in motion. He's going to fake the handoff. Vanami keeps it. Goes to the outside. Van Fossen almost made the tackle. Vanami makes another man miss. Gets out to about the 49-yard line. A really good gain and what looked like might have been a loss. It's a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Gain of 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, that's got to be a broken play of some kind. You don't normally mesh and then grab the hip of your guy you're meshing with and shove him through the hole with you. But if you make the wrong decision like that as an option quarterback, you always coach those guys. Maybe he wanted to give the ball. If you make the wrong decision, just be the decision you wanted to make, and that's what DJ did in that particular play.
Vanami playing well so far. Kind of a scary proposition that he's only a junior. Certainly not playing like one right now, and it looks like he almost got Underwood to jump again on the hard count, but it'll be 3rd down and 5. Ball on their own 49-yard line. Shotgun snap back to pass. Pressure coming. And Vanami's going to just chuck it deep here for Chris Moore, who's open, and it's incomplete. Vanami just overthrew him. Moore could not track it down, and that will bring up 4th down and 5. But once again, DJ Vanami able to escape the pressure and almost make a play downfield.
Yeah, but I think it just seems to me that maybe the Kemper guys, well, he can keep the play alive. It just – the timing, the coaching, how they react to him, it just isn't quite there for Kemper.
So Kemper will punt for the second time tonight, and that will actually bring us to the end of the first quarter. 7-7 the score here in Carroll. Big one. The Class 1A District 8 District Championship is all tied up after one. We'll be right back here on the KMA Extreme.
For over 25 years, Chat Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
Welcome back into the KMA Extreme. Nick Stavis alongside John Tarks as we start the second quarter here in Carroll. Kemper Catholic will punt the ball away with a 4th and 5 from their own 49. It's Chris Moore to boot it away. Mason Boothby back to receive. And Moore gets that one off, and it isn't a long punt. It bounces at the 25, and it's going to be down at the 22. So only a net of about 28 yards on that punt by the Knights, and Underwood's offense will take over. What are you expecting from Underwood's offense here? Haven't really been able to sustain a drive. The one touchdown they've had was a 74-yard big hitter from Ravlin to Ravlin. So how do the Underwood Eagles get the chains moving here?
Well, I think they need to pay attention to what's going on with these safeties. And you can see right now again, man, Kemper is rolled down. They want to take care of that run game away from the Eagles.
Shotgun snap here, trips to the right. It's going to be a flip to the outside. This one is caught by Maddox Nelson, and he's out to about the 24, so a gain of a yard or two there on the short pass. It'll bring up second down.
Yeah, I think the vertical passing game, and that's how Underwood obviously scored already, but the vertical passing game is what Kemper is giving them. They're giving them the big play, and that's what Underwood's got to get to every so often. Every 3 or 4 play calls has got to be a shot.
Shotgun snap, handoff up the middle, and out to about the 29-yard line, so a gain of 5 there on second down. Nelson again on the carry. We have not seen Graham Jensen yet tonight. And he was a big part of Underwood's win over Trainer a couple weeks ago. Shotgun here for Ravlin on 3rd and 3 from their own 30. Big down here for both teams. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle, and Maddox Nelson is not going to get it. Nowhere to go there. A gain of a yard on 3rd and 3. It'll bring up 4th and 2, and another big stand here from the Kemper defensive front.
Yeah, interesting play call by the Eagles. Seemed awful conservative with maybe some of the other weapons that are on the field. And, yeah, this is the night with the way that Kemper's crammed down in the box defensively. This is a game that's just a little bit more wired for Graham Jensen. I love both running backs the Eagles feature, but this might be a Graham Jensen kind of night.
Yeah, Jensen kind of the more powerful, bigger running back, whereas Maddox Nelson much faster, and that one was almost blocked by Chris Moore, but Carson Canny feels it at the 35-yard line. Alex Ravlin almost had his punt blocked. That could have been disaster, and that might need to be something you shore up if you're Coach McHaleson there on the far sideline.
Yeah, that was interesting. Did that guy come from distance from a corner position?
Chris Moore was,
really
I believe he was lined up in the defensive end position.
Boy, that clearly, there was something there. That young man got there awful fast. Did you say Chris Moore?
Chris Moore.
Well, there's that kid again, 6'2". We don't know what his 100 time is, but we're pretty confident it's good.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights from their own 35-yard line. 10:18 to go here in the second quarter. 7-7 the score. Vanami in the shotgun takes the snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle. This is Tay Vanami, and he goes nowhere. That time he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage by a whole host of Eagles. It looked like Jack Van Fossen was in there on the stop on first contact, and it'll bring up second down and 8.
It is interesting. The Eagle defensive line has been used to being double and triple teamed. I shouldn't say triple team, but double team most of the year. They're able, the edges right now, their ends are able to get in there and be a little more involved in actually making tackles. A lot more one-on-one stuff than they've seen most of the season.
So second down and 9 from their own 36-yard line for the Knights. Tavenami in motion, and that's going to be a handoff to him, and Max Tarks in the backfield to get him. Back at the 31-yard line, it's a loss of 6, and a huge play there from Max Tarks off the edge. As Tavenami gets brought back at the 31, it'll be 3rd down and long now for the Knights.
Just brutally slow execution on the play by the Knights. I mean, when you're going to run fly sweep, you got to be as fast as fast as fast can be, man. There's nothing jog. They don't call it jog sweep. They call it fly sweep, you know. And, man, that just – the execution and the penetration by Tarks was a bad combination for Kemper.
It's an interesting call there because they typically use Chris Moore or Siebenall or the 2 speedsters in that situation, but that time Tavenami, more of their power back, takes it on the jet sweep. It's a loss to 5. It's 3rd down and 15 from their own 30-yard line. Fake handoff, back to passes. Vanami he has all day. Now the pressure coming from Savin. He flips it out to Tavenami, and he is brought out well short of the sticks down at the 39-yard line. So a nice stop there from the Underwood defense and really good coverage downfield. Forced DJ Vanami to go to his check down, and that'll bring up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, the Eagles have done a really good, we've talked about A-gap, B-gap, take that away. You haven't really seen Kemper try to test them north and south like they did on that first drive. If I'm the Kemper staff right now, I'm talking about that. I'm taking notes. We need to get north and south in these guys.
So another punt here, and it looks like we have we have a coach on. I believe that Coach Steinkamp out there on the field. Even if it is on Underwood, it wouldn't give them a 1st down.
I've never seen that.
But they're going to actually award Underwood a timeout, and Coach Ryan Steinkamp is losing it here on the near sideline.
And
we are going to take a break here quickly for the timeout. We'll be right back on the KMAX stream.
In to the Do Drop In for fantastic daily food specials. For lunch on Monday, chicken fried steak. Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. Wednesday is a wild card. Thursday, bacon cheeseburger, fries, and chocolate cake. And Friday is a sirloin steak sandwich. And for supper specials, on Thursday it's roasted chicken and Friday prime rib. Open 11:30 till 9 weekdays, till 2 Friday and Saturday, and closed Sundays. Drop in to the Do Drop in McClelland for great family food and drinks with friends.
Welcome back into the KMAX stream. John, tell the folks why we're laughing here.
Oh, man. Kemper's upset, and they ought to be upset. Underwood's got 12 on the field. Alex Ravlin's on the Kemper sideline. He steps off the field on the Kemper sideline and joins the Kemper kids. All at once there's 11 on the field. He's like calling plays with Coach Steinkamp. The refs just couldn't see it. I've never seen that before.
So the punt is away, and Boothby's going to let that one roll, and it's a good one from Chris Moore down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So a odd situation there on that 4th down and 7. They ended up granting Underwood the timeout mainly because I just don't really know if they knew how they were supposed to react.
I just don't think.
Pretty savvy play by Alex Ravlin there.
And yeah, the kid's a 29
depending
ACT,
on how you look.
So yeah, I've never seen that before. Technically, he moves off the field.
Yeah.
There's no rule about being on
That's
the wrong
true. You have
sideline.
to be on the correct, and we might have to break out the rule book for that.
We will.
It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 18 here for the Underwood offense. 8:38 to go in the second quarter. Fakes the handoff. Alex Ravlin's going to keep it himself, and he is going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage again, maybe a yard on the play. But Kemper is stacking the box, and it is working right now. And are you surprised that Underwood is not going outside the numbers here?
Well, when you kind of minor in the option game, you're going to have stuff like that. I think Ravlin wanted to carry the ball. He determined he was going to keep it, and that's just kind of why the play didn't go.
Shotgun snap here for Ravlin. He's back to pass. He looks to the outside, and that one is intercepted. Intercepted at the 28-yard line. That's DJ Vanami making plays on offense and defense. A miscommunication between Alex Ravlin and his receiver, Van Fossen, and this one is going the other way.
Yeah, something was clearly amiss there, and a phenomenal grab by Vanami.
So DJ Vanami, the quarterback and safety for Kemper, doing it all tonight for the Knights as he picks off Alex Ravlin. Ravlin's 8th interception of the season. It's his first in 4 weeks, though. He really has been good at taking care of the ball lately, but that time that throw gets away from him. It'll be 1st and 10 deep in Underwood territory at the 28-yard line for the Knights. It's a handoff up the middle. Siebenaller breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, gets inside the 25, and he's down at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of about 8 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and short.
I sure like the multiplicity in tempo, sets, motions. Kemper keeps you on your toes offensively.
2nd down and 2 from the 20. Shotgun snap for Vanami. He's going to hand it off right up the middle again to Siebenoller. This time Underwood's wise to it. He's going to be close to a first down. He's down at about the 18.5-yard line. We'll see if they move the chains here for the Knights.
A little more of that north and south type of play we've been looking for out of Kemper.
It is a first down, so he gets the line to gain by a small margin there. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Underwood 18-yard line. 7:25 to go here in the first half. 7-7 the score in this battle of top 5 teams in Class 1A. The winner takes home the Class 1A district title. Both teams undefeated, and Kemper looking to regain the lead here. 1st and 10 from the 18, and it looks like we have another jump and another encroachment penalty. That is the 5th time tonight that the hard count from DJ Vanami has gotten the Underwood Eagles, and there's some serious frustration being shown on the other side.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I look at with Hunnicky, and you can see his frustration on the sideline, is his head is just at the ground.
Yeah.
His eyes, are you ball key, are you man key? It doesn't look like he's any key right now, and I think that's part of the problem.
1st and 5 now from the 13-yard line. Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left. Vanami looking to the end zone for Chris Moore, and it's caught by Moore. Touchdown, Kemper. Sam Schoening was there to defend it, but Chris Moore fights him off, and the Knights strike again. DJ Vanami with his 2nd touchdown pass of the night.
Yeah, really nice execution there by Kemper. Everything across. Underwood's right there, close at making the play, but the ball placement by Vanami made the difference.
So DJ Vanami makes the play on defense with the interception. 4 plays later, he tosses it to Chris Moore, the 2nd touchdown connection of that sort between those two. And now Tommy Fitzsimmons tries the extra point, and he nails it. And with 6:52 to go here in the first half, it's 14-7 Kemper with the lead. We'll step aside. We'll be right back here on the KMA Extreme.
Believing. That's what you'll hear from customers that choose Barrett Auto Center of Glenwood time and time again. Barrett customers come in for vehicles and service work, but they come back for conversation and honest advice. They want one of the largest pre-owned and fully serviced inventories in KMA land, and they return when they've gone elsewhere and it just isn't the same. See and believe for yourself how little differences add up to a better car buying experience. Come back to Barrett's and Barrett's Auto Center.
Two to go in the first half. Tommy Fitzsimmons boots it deep. This is Boothby on the near sideline to grab it. That is actually Easton Robertson who gets out across the 15, and he is brought down at the 21-yard line. Nice tackle there. And that'll bring up 1st down and 10.
Looks like we're going to get a look at Graham Jensen here for the Eagles. I think a nice ball control drive of some capacity out of Underwood would really settle things down for them. They've just been a little off kilter the entire evening.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. The handoff up the middle doesn't go anywhere. And once again, that is Graham Jensen on the carry. First time we've seen him tonight. But John, once again, this Underwood running game is just going nowhere right now.
Yeah, penetration off the edge there on the left side by Kemper. Certainly thought of that play quickly.
6:27 to go in the first half. 2nd and 10 from their own 22 for the Eagles. Shotgun snap. It's a read option. Jensen's going to keep it, and Jensen does not get far. Maybe a yard on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Yeah. Going to the whistle, blocking to the whistle is something that looked like a struggle for the Eagles that time. Kemper just pursued harder than Underwood blocked.
3rd down and 9 from their own 23. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Underwood trailing by 7. It's going to be a fake handoff, and back to passes. Ravlin, pressure coming, fires one across the middle, and it looks like almost caught, intended for Josh Ravlin. He couldn't haul it in. It was a good idea, but not quite able to hook up on the pass, and it'll bring up 4th and 9.
Yeah, clear miscommunication in the flats from the Eagle receivers. 2 guys in the same spot. It just kind of discombobulated Ravlin and led to a pass that wasn't as accurate as he would have liked.
So 5:50 to go in the first half, and we're going to get a timeout on the Kemper side before the punt. So we will step aside as well. We'll be right back here on the KMAX stream. 14-7 your score.
Best in convenience, it's Cubby's. Stop in today for hot and fresh food, plus that local spirit that you'll always find at Cubby's. And when it comes to pizza at Cubby's, with every large pizza sold, Cubby's gives $1 to the local school district with the Raise Some Dough program. In fact, Cubby's contributed $29,855 in 2021 to local schools for educational and athletic purposes. Just another reason to stop, shop, and eat at Cubby's. For the Cubby's near you, go to Cubby's.com.
Welcome back into the KMAX stream. Nick Stavas alongside John Tarks. 5:50 to go in the second quarter. 14-7 Kemper with the lead. Underwood has 4th and 9 at their own 23 outside of the Kemper timeout. They will bring the punt team back out on the field. Siebenaller will be back to receive for Kemper. He's standing at his own 45-yard line, and now he's gonna come running up here, and it looks like Underwood might go for this here. Could be one of those little step-back pooch punt kind of things.
I'll be surprised if that isn't coming.
They're trying to hard count, and now Ravlin steps back to punt it away. Nobody back deep for Kemper, and that one is going to bounce at the 45, take a huge eagle roll inside the 30, down at the 24-yard line. So it pays off there for the Eagles as they totally flip the field. A nice punt there by Alex Ravlin from the quarterback position.
And not that it was the most aggressive contact in the world, but Kemper's probably lucky they didn't get some sort of touching the punter on that, because you can't lay hands on that young man when he's kicking the ball, and that's clearly what happened.
1st and 10 from their own 24, 5:39 to go in the second quarter. Aside from that big, long 76-yard bomb from Ravlin to Ravlin, Underwood has not gotten a first down yet in this game. And now the Knights back out on the field to try to extend their lead. 1st and 10 from their own 24, handoff right up the middle, and that doesn't go anywhere. He's down at the 25-yard line. Kemper sideline wants a horse collar, but that just looked like a really good tackle. Who was in on the play there, John?
That guy lives in my basement, Max Tarks. I tell you what, that was a very physical play. That running back will feel that in the morning, I promise you.
So it'll be 2nd down and 9. Ball on their own 25. Gain of 1 on the play by Siebenaller. Ticking under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. 14-7, Kemper with the lead. Shotgun here for Vanami. Man in motion. Vanami takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Chris Moore on the jet sweep on the far side. He gets tripped up, and he stumbles forward, and he's met by a host of tacklers there on the far sideline at the 27-yard line. A gain of a couple, but nicely defended there by Underwood. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Man, I like a lot of what Kemper does offensively, but I don't like that at all. Jet sweep from a wing position. Yeah, those guys, they've got to get that coached up to fly. That is really, really slow. I mean, I would love to drag into their huddle account, pull up every one of those clips and see what the average per play is, because the only way that's successful is against inferior competition. It's just not a good scheme design.
4:24 to go here in this first half. 3rd and 8 from their own 26-yard line for the Knights. Vanami in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers on either side. Vanami takes the snap. He's back to pass. Pressure coming. It's going to be a setup screen, and that one is short. Siebenaller was wide open, and he had green grass in front of him, but Vanami could not get him the ball, and it'll be 4th down.
You know, for his ability to keep the play going, his ability to deliver in those moments is a little interesting, because, man, if he completes that pass, I mean, it's a first down at least for Kemper.
Well-designed screen there, but the pressure was on him as Gage Savin was coming off the edge, was in Vanami's face. Siebenaller runs the screen route a little bit deep and can't quite get to the ball, so it'll be 4th down and 8. And there's the punt, and it's a good one. That is going to bounce at the 44 and get out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. So once again, these teams just playing the field position, John, and with the caliber of both of these offenses, are you a little bit surprised at how good the defenses have played so far?
Well, you know, not so much. Athletes are athletes, you know. I think Underwood's got to find ways to let their athletes on the perimeter be a little more involved in what's going on. I start moving Ravlin. I start taking shots this possession. I start moving the pocket with Ravlin. Let him extend plays a bit. Let him get yards with his feet.
4 minutes to go on the dot here in the second quarter. Underwood going to try to tie this up before half, but Kemper's defense has been stout so far. It's a handoff up the middle to Graham Jensen, and he goes nowhere. Once again, stuffed at the line. And I would like to see Underwood's yards per carry right now because I can't imagine it's much more than 1.
Yeah, 1 to 2 yards at most. Right now, the Kemper guys are doing a phenomenal job inside. They're headed up by Will Healy in there.
Shotgun snap for Ravlin. He's back to pass. He has all kinds of time. Looking downfield. Pump fakes 1. Now he's going to fire across the middle of the field. Wyatt Baker, the intended receiver. But the ball was well behind him, and that is really good coverage downfield from Kemper, and it'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, pressure by Healy on that play. And some of the same things we've talked about maybe being struggles for Vanami were the same thing there for Ravlin. Had a guy open, had a scramble situation, just wasn't able to deliver on the scramble.
3rd down and 8. Ball on their own 36-yard line. Easton Robertson splits out. Mason Boothby comes in. Shotgun snap. Back to passes Ravlin. Pressure's coming. He's going to roll out, and he's going to get inside the 35, make a man miss, and outside the 40, and gets out to the 43-yard line. Kemper fans wanted holding, and rightfully so, but Ravlin gets out to about the 43. He's going to be close to the line to gain. We'll see where they spot him. He's going to be about a yard shy. And they're going to go for this here. Tempo offense. Handoff up the middle. Graham Jensen powering forward, and he has the first down at the 45-yard line. A gain of a yard. That's all he needed. And
that's about as good a push as Underwood's had all night as far as just flat getting off the ball, getting downhill, and getting in somebody's grill.
So the Eagles going tempo here. 3:17 to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10 from their own 45. That's their first down of the game. Fakes the handoff, back to passes. Ravlin has all day. Now he's going to look deep for Boothby. There's nobody there except for Kemper defenders. Trevor Ryle and DJ Vanami were back there to catch that ball, but Alex Ravlin overthrew everybody. And it looked like Boothby just kind of pulled up on the route. Maybe he thought the ball was gone. I'm not sure what was going on.
There was some miscommunication there because you looked across the field. The Eagle receivers across the board, there wasn't a whole lot of finish on that play by anybody.
Nothing really working so far for this Underwood offense other than that one big play. 3:02 to go here in the first half. 2nd and 10 from their own 45 for the Eagles. Easton Robertson goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to him on the jet sweep, and he has some room, but it is filled up quickly. That's Chris Moore on the far side, able to make the stop. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Moore defeated the reach block by the Underwood tackle. I really like that athlete. He's had a really nice game so far.
Yeah, he leads the team, I believe, in tackles. 31 tackles from the defensive end position. Quite impressive. He also has 2 interceptions from the defensive end position. He is a guy that is, I would imagine, you can probably speak to this, a coach's dream. You can kind of just put him anywhere on the field and he'll make a play. It's 3rd down and 11 from their own 44 for the Knights, or excuse me, for the Eagles. Empty set, 5 wide. 2 receivers to the left, trips to the right for Ravlin. Back to pass he goes. Pressure coming on his blind side, and he makes a man miss. Still on his feet, and fires it downfield, and it's caught. And he is hit hard. On the catch there was Graham Jensen out of the backfield. An incredible play by Alex Ravlin to extend it. Graham Jensen got popped at the end. He was able to hold on, and a huge gain for a first down, and Underwood moves the chains.
Yeah, Alex Ravlin all the way there.
Alex Ravlin making plays here when Underwood needs it most. And now a handoff up the middle to Graham Jensen goes for about a yard. And Alex Ravlin, talk about improvising. That is about as good as it gets. He had his feet wrapped up, was able to step out of the sack, extend the play, and find Graham Jensen wide open in the middle of the field. 2nd down and 8 now. Shotgun snap for Ravlin. Back to pass. He's going to look for Jensen there on the far side, and that is caught somehow. And staying on his feet is Jensen, and he's inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Kemper had about 3 guys there to try to go for the interception, and Jensen just kind of let it fall into his hands, was able to get forward for 7 yards. It's 3rd and 1. 1:18 to go.
Lucky there. That could have been a pick six. This very easily could be 21-7.
Shotgun snap on 3rd and 1. Ravlin keeps it up the middle. He has the first down to the 20-yard line. Clock will stop with 1:04 to go. Underwood trying to tie this game up before half. And this is by far the best drive that the Eagles have been able to put together so far in this game. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Ravlin in the shotgun. 2 receivers on either side. Ravlin's going to hand it off. It's Graham Jensen, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. And that is Jake Earl back in on the stop there, the junior linebacker for the Knights. Only a gain of about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Just across the board, a really, really well-coached half by the Knights.
41 seconds to go. Ravlin takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to the outside. It's caught by Josh Ravlin at the 15-yard line, and he is wrapped up and brought down right where he caught it. So it's a gain of about 4. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 with 34 seconds to go, and a timeout from Coach McHaleson of the Underwood Eagles on the far sideline. And Coach Tarks, what are you drawing up here if you're Underwood?
You got to keep the ball in Ravlin's hands. You got to get guys moving. They haven't proven to be able to pass pro very well tonight. I mean, the defensive line effort by the Knights has been good on the run game. It's also been good at getting pressure. So I look to probably, get him away from that end there on the left side, look to sprint him, some sort of RPO, something this direction over here to the right side, his natural throwing strength side, and then let him improvise it. But you got to coach the Underwood receivers, guys. You got to go to the whistle. You got to stay active. You can't jog. You can't 3/4. You got to get open, work to get open. Your effort will get you open. And that's got to be the coaching points, I think, right now for the Eagles.
What is Gus Bayshore's field goal range? It would be about 32 yards from here if they aren't able to get it. Obviously, you're not thinking about that if you're Underwood, but he is 30 for 31 on PATs on the season. He's 2 for 2 on field goals, so I feel like that could be an option if they don't get it. But either way, it's 3rd down and 5, ball on the 15-yard line. 2 receivers on either side of Alex Ravlin. Now Josh Ravlin goes in motion. Back to pass. It's going to be a screen to Graham Jensen on the far side. Chris Moore had him wrapped up first. Jensen broke the tackle. He gets down to about the 11-yard line. So it's a gain of 4. It'll bring up 4th and 1 with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And we're going to get another timeout. And now it's decision time, John, because if you're Coach McHaleson, a yard to get the first down, but if you do, there's really not a whole lot of time left to run a play, or you could just try to take the 3 points here. It would be about a 29-yard field goal.
With the ball on the left hash and Bashore being a left-footed kicker, I really feel like you're going to see Underwood go for this. Interesting play call, not a bad play call, just a missed block out on the screen. If that screen block is hit out there in the perimeter, we might have a touchdown and a tie ball game here, but Kemper's doing a good job defeating blocks, making plays, putting themselves in position to be successful. But I really think you'll see Underwood go for this and then kind of go with there. But they have no timeouts left, so they're going to need to be really calculated with what they do. You might be in a situation right now to where you're calling 2 plays so that you can get up or probably just clock the ball. If you get this first down, even though the clock stops, I still wouldn't be afraid to clock it with only 20 seconds left and then have some time to make a good decision on a good play call.
So it will be 4th down and 1. 20 seconds to go in the first half. No timeouts left for Underwood. They are going to go for it. 4th and 1 at the Kemper 11-yard line. Ravlin comes out in the shotgun. Bunch receivers on either side. It's going to be a keeper for Ravlin up the middle, and he has the first down at the 8-yard line. A well-designed read option now. The Eagles are trying to hurry up here, and they're going to take a snap here. They're not going to clock it. Back to passes. Ravlin looks to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Jack Van Fossen on the far side, and that'll bring up 2nd down and goal from the 8.
Yeah, really good coaching there by the Eagles staff not to have to waste a down clock on the ball. But I think right now you're at the 8-yard line. Shoot, you got 12 seconds. You got a couple chances to throw this ball in the end zone, so I think you got time to get a couple plays in here.
Shotgun here for Ravlin. 2 receivers on either side. Back to pass he goes, and he's going to roll out, and there's a flag down in the backfield, and he's going to throw it into the dirt and out of bounds. And it's in the area of holding, and it looks like that's going to be the call. And it is, and that is a backbreaker if you are the Eagles here. With just 6 seconds to go, and no timeouts to go. No timeouts left. Moves it back to the 20-yard line.
Yeah. Make you wonder if they think about a field goal here because the ball's more center of the field. You can see the Eagle staff's kind of kicking it around right now.
And you'd think, do they add the time back to the clock? I don't
believe they do.
So they are going to bring Gus Bayshore out onto the field, it appears, to try this kick. He is 1 for 1 on the season on field goals. Oh, no, they're not. They're going to bring Alex Ravlin back out to go for it here with 6 seconds to go. I'd assume it'll just be one toss to the end zone. Back to passes. Ravlin, pressure coming, looks to the end zone, and it's incomplete over the head of everybody. And that will bring us to the end of the first half. A big first half for the Kemper Knights. Underwood unable to capitalize on prime field position there at the end of the half. It's 14-7. The Eagles with the lead, or excuse me, the Knights with the lead. We'll be back with the second half here on the KMAX stream.
Solutions started small, but now we're growing as FDS provides live streaming coverage for over 20 schools across 3 different states on our Fuller Digital Solutions YouTube channel. Subscribe to get notified when we go live for your school events. Big events are captured live, and your business can get noticed with advertising during our live streams. Local talent and camera operators are encouraged to contact us too for future employment. No experience necessary. We will train. For information about advertising or working with Fuller Digital Solutions, email us and follow us on Facebook. Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5
Welcome back into the KMA Extreme. Nick Stavas alongside John Tarks here in Carroll, ready to bring you the second half of football. 24 minutes to decide the Class 1A District 8 champion. Undefeated Underwood, undefeated Kemper in a dogfight right now. The Knights with a 14-7 lead. They will get the ball to start the second half. John, give me your reaction to that first half.
Well, Kemper coming out and kind of, proving that, you need to be more worried about us than worried about getting to the Dome right now, I think, is probably the message that needs to be relayed to the Underwood kids right now. But Kemper, I don't know if there's a whole lot of adjustments there. I mean, their game plan has worked very well. I think, they've been opportunistic when they've been given the opportunity there with that short drive on that interception. And, I think probably the biggest thing I'm coaching the Kemper kids on, especially the receivers, is, man, I'm working scramble drill with a quarterback like Von Ame around there. It just feels like those guys aren't able to quite adjust with his skill set when needed, when the play kind of breaks down. I think that's how they take a leap as an offense when you really get into competitive games.
Yeah, and talk about what are you looking for from the Underwood offense. Just 3 first downs in that first half, all of which came on the final drive. They had first and goal at the 8-yard line with 25 seconds to go. They came away empty-handed. A pretty big missed opportunity there. Now they have to kick it to Kemper to start the second half. But when Underwood's offense gets back out on the field, what are you expecting from them?
Well, I think you got to take advantage of Raveling. I think you got to move the pocket just a little bit more than you have. I think you got to look at some run-pass option types of things. I think your desire to run inside zone, I think you need to minimize that to maybe like 5 total play calls for the half. I think you got to find ways to free up Mason Boothby. He's really your deep shot, vertical guy. You got to find matchups and ways to move him around and put him in position to get vertical and get gone. Just with the way that Kemper is cramming their guys down into the line of scrimmage, I think Underwood, they're daring Underwood to go deep, and they need the ability to do it. It's just that Ravelin's not had the time to really accurately get there. And then you got to coach up the effort out of the Eagle receivers a little bit. That's been a little questionable at times. Those guys really finishing routes, really going to the whistle. I feel like there's been the bad habits of playing in the district, and no disrespect to the district, but I think the bad habits of playing in the district have impacted the Eagles more than maybe it's impacted Kemper.
Yeah, some scores around the area here. Trainer with a 9-0 lead over MVAO-COU at halftime. HSTW leads St. Albert 26-7 in the second quarter. East Mills with a 28-0 lead over Stanton in the second quarter. Tri-Center up 28-21 over Westwood at the half. Earlham with a 14-6 lead over Riverside at halftime. Southwest Valley trails Mount Air 14-6, a big one there in Class A. 2 really good teams. That one is on the KMA Extreme with Ethan Hewitt as we speak. 14-6 again, the halftime score there. Mount Air on top. Fremont Mills trailing Lennox 14-0. It looks like they just kicked off the third quarter, so 14-0 Lennox with the lead. That one is for the 8-man district title there. Let's see if we can get a few more scores here before we kick off. Harlan with a 35-12 lead over Creston. Harlan looking every bit the state champion that they are. Clarinda up 42-0 at halftime over Red Oak. Glenwood also up 42-0 over TJ at halftime. We are ready to go here. Second half of football on the way. Underwood will kick it off to start this third quarter. Kemper will receive. They get the ball first with a 14-7 lead. 24 minutes to decide the Class 1A District 8 champion. And one of these teams will walk away with a blemish on their record. The other will complete a perfect regular season. It should be a fun second half. It's going to be Gus Bayshore to kick it off here for the Eagles to start this third quarter. And Bayshore boots it deep. That is a good kick. Ryle tracks it back to his own 7-yard line, and Ryle takes it out across the 15. Cuts back, and he is met right at looks like about the 19-yard line. Wyatt Baker and Sam Schoening in on the stop, and that is a good special teams play to start the second half for Underwood.
A little more of the aggressive posture we've seen out of the Eagles all season long. They've just been on their heels most of the game. They need to get into good rhythm to where their defense plays off specials plays off offense. They just haven't been able to do that all night long.
1st and 10 for the Knights to start this second half. Ball on their own 19-yard line. Leading 14-7, DJ Vanami has 2 touchdown passes, both to Chris Moore. He also has an interception on the defensive side of the ball, so he has made a lot of plays for the Knights so far tonight. Vanami will take the shotgun snap. He's going to hand it off. This is Siebenaller up the middle, and he doesn't get much, down to about the 19 and stopped at about the line of scrimmage, maybe got a yard.
Yeah, Eagles,
and that will bring up second down.
Underwood flying to the ball there. 2 consecutive plays where you see Underwood in a more aggressive posture than you've seen.
You wonder if there was some fiery speeches going on at halftime. Really on both sides, both teams very fired up coming out of the gate. Kemper obviously got the better of the first half. We'll see what the second half entails. It's 2nd down and 9. It's going to be a handoff to Siebenaller again, and he's brought down in the backfield. Nice play there by Max Tarks on the stop, and Graham Jensen was back there as well. It's a loss of 2 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
He had a Knight just a little slow to get back in the fray after that play as well.
Logan Siebenaller, the injured Kemper Knight. It looks like he got to his knees there, but then stopped, and he will take a seat, so we will step aside here for the injury timeout. 14-7, Kemper with the lead. They have 3rd and long in their own territory when we come back.
Learn about your operation, understand your short and long-term goals, and then together we form a plan to maximize profitability on your farm. Call me at 712-370-3497 or visit us at agrisconsulting.net.
Welcome back into the KMA Extreme. Siebenaller gets off on his own power. Looked like maybe just a cramp of some sort, but he will sit this play out. Meanwhile, the Knights have 3rd and 11 from their own 18-yard line on this first possession of the second half. Vanami in the shotgun, trips to his right. One receiver split out to his left. Now Tay Vanami goes in motion, back to passes. DJ Vanami, he's going to look deep for Benjamin Gherkin here on the near sideline, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Gherkin, well defended there by Mason Boothby, got underneath the receiver, and that is a huge 3-and-out for this Underwood defense.
Yeah, really good job by Gherkin, because that really, without him competing all the way into that play, that's an interception for one of Underwood's better athletes, Mason Boothby. If, I'm Underwood, Mason Boothby's somebody we got to find a way to get the ball to and get broke loose.
Boothby has 5 interceptions on the season. They've only played 7 games coming into the night, so he averages almost an interception a game. He is a ball hawk in the defensive secondary, unable to come up with it there, but it's 4th and 11, and now Kemper will punt it away. It'll be Chris Moore to boot it, and he gets that one off. Mason Boothby catches it at the 48-yard line, and this is the best field position Underwood will have all night to start this second half. So we talked about it a little bit coming out of the break, but what are you looking for here on this first drive from the Kemper offense, the Underwood offense?
Well, I'm looking to make Ravlin the centerpiece of what's going on. I'm not looking to get real crazy about inside zone. I'm calling plays this second half a lot more at the line based upon 1 or 2 high safeties. That tells me so much about what Kemper wants to do.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 48 for the Eagles. First drive of the second half. Josh Ravlin goes in motion. Alex Ravlin takes the snap. It's a handoff up the middle. Has room. Maddox Nelson has the first down. The biggest run of the night for Underwood comes on the first play of the second half. It's a 13-yard gain on the first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, definitely a way more inspired effort so far out of the Eagles. And that's one thing that Nelson brings with it. When he gets downhill, he hits that
speed.
Cut. Yeah, he's very quick.
1st and 10 now after the 13-yard run from Nelson. Ravlin in motion again. Alex Ravlin takes the snap. It's the same exact play. It's a handoff up the middle to Maddox Nelson. This one is blown dead. A flag down on the far sideline, and it looks like we could get a motion call here on Underwood.
Yeah, I bet that's on Ravlin.
And if you're Underwood, you have had some really uncharacteristic mistakes here, especially in that first half. 5 offsides or encroachment penalties. Couple holding calls, couple false starts, and just not something we're used to seeing. Meanwhile, Kemper has been really disciplined for the most part, and that has made a big difference in this game so far.
Interesting long conversation about this.
And
wow.
Wave it off. So it looked like maybe it was some sort of...
I sure thought, we've talked about that earlier this season where these receivers think they're playing arena ball where they run forward and they get to go into the line of scrimmage before the play's over. Yeah.
Ryan Steinkamp not happy about that one, and now it's going to be another handoff to Maddox Nelson. He tries to bounce it outside, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. A whole host of Kemper Knights in there to make the stop. It looks like that was I'm not sure who was in on the stop there.
Healy's one of the mainstays in there.
Healy, yeah,
really good pursuit by the Kemper inside backers.
2nd down and 10 now. Ravlin goes in motion again. Back to pass is Alex Ravlin. Has time. Now the pressure's coming. Now he looks to the outside for Josh Ravlin. And almost intercepted, but somehow caught by Josh Ravlin. Chris Moore just about jumped that and took it the other way. Excuse me, that's John Bass there. Just about took that for a pick six, but Ravlin somehow ended up with the ball.
He might have to catch the interception in self-defense. I mean, that was a very, very fortunate. That's twice tonight Ravlin's gotten away with a very, very interceptable ball.
Now Alex Ravlin takes the snap. He's going to keep it up the middle on 3rd and 1, and he gets it easily. Nice push there by the offensive line for the Eagles, and he's down at the 23-yard line, so a gain of 7 on 3rd and 1. And, yeah, I remember that play in the first half where Alex Ravlin just kind of flipped it out there, kind of lazily tossed it to the far sideline.
I'm pretty sure he yelled 500 when he threw that one up. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Man in motion here once again. Ravlin takes the snap. It's a handoff to Maddox Nelson. He has a little room, gets inside the 20 to the 19. It's a gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd down.
A little more concerted effort out of the Eagles. You're seeing more motion. You're not seeing as much of them kind of standing pat. Ravlin's getting some miles on, getting his steps in for the night here. Josh is going in motion.
Shotgun look again, 2 receivers to the right. This is going to be another handoff to Maddox Nelson. He breaks 1 tackle, breaks free inside the 10, has some room inside the 5, and that's where he's going to be stopped. Right at the 5 or 6 yard line is where they drove him back. But either way, it's a really nice run for Maddox Nelson again, and it sets up a 1st and goal for the Eagles.
It's impressive improvement out of the Eagles running the ball on inside zone. Now they need to finish.
And we have the Coach Steinkamp running out on the field, and he's going to take a timeout. He was all the way out to the hash mark after the ball was snapped, and they're going to grant him the timeout. So Underwood able to run the ball, which is something that they absolutely could not do in that first half. So what has changed, John?
I think there's an effort of physicality and intensity. This is clearly a more dialed-in Eagle squad than we saw in the first half. It was something just, maybe I'll put on my father hat for a bit. You just watch them kind of sleepwalk through the season. We win everything by 37. We go through the same routines. Well, then you get punched in the mouth, and that's not routine.
Well, and it's a long trip. It's cold. It's late in the season. It's a perfect storm to come out flat. And honestly, the fact that Underwood survived down just 7 with how flat and how many mistakes they've made, you kind of have to view that as a win if you're the Eagles because they could be down by a lot more right now.
I think putting my coaching hat on, I felt like this was a really well-timed game for Underwood with the playoffs looming a week from now.
Absolutely. It'll be 1st and goal. Underwood with their best chance to score here tonight. Ravlin in the shotgun. 2 receivers split out to the right, 1 to the left. Boothby goes in motion. Ravlin takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Maddox Nelson breaks free into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. Maddox Nelson carries the ball all the way down the field. And the Underwood Eagles strike on their opening drive of the second half.
I got to say, I'm pretty impressed. I mean, you just don't normally in a top 5 game flip the switch on an intensity standpoint and go cram it down somebody's throat who is just giving it to you all night long. Really impressive drive by the Eagles.
So good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. Just barely. Gus Bayshore knocks it through, and that will tie the game at 14 apiece. We've got a fun one here in Carroll, folks. 8:14 to go in the third quarter. We're all tied up in the Class 1A District 8 Championship. We will be right back here on the KMAX Stream.
Over 25 years, Chat Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
Welcome back into the KMAX Stream. Nick Stavas alongside John Tarks. 14-14 the score. Underwood scores on their first possession of the second half. 52 yards in 7 plays. Maddox Nelson certainly the superstar of that drive, including the offensive line. And the Eagles finally able to find some running room after basically finding none in that first half. The kick by Bayshore barely creeps into the end zone. A little bit of a dangerous decision there by the Kemper returner.
Yeah, that about got ugly quick.
But it will be a touchback. It was Chris Moore who let that one bounce a few times, I think. I don't know. I can't see that far. Maybe Trevor Ryle there. I believe that was Trevor Ryle.
That covered that up.
That bounce.
I'm impressed with the special teams coaching by Kemper. Their guys doing a nice job executing. But when you look at the players on the field, Underwood clearly plays more starters, more first-line guys out there. It's interesting to see if Underwood can maybe exploit that at some point in time in the half here.
So it will be 1st and 10 for Kemper after the touchback ball on their own 20-yard line. Tie game now. Vanami goes in motion. Vanami takes the snap, and Vanami keeps it. And he has it out across the 20, and he's taken down at the 23-yard line. Gain of 3 on the keeper. And it looks like we may have an injured Eagle down on the field. And that is Sam Schoening, the sophomore safety, who has been a playmaker for this Eagle defense, and he gets right back up. And we'll see if they make him come out for a play. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They are. So Easton Robertson, fellow sophomore, will come in to replace him in the secondary for one play.
Yeah, I think he just kind of hit the ground, got the wind knocked out of him briefly. That was kind of a bang-bang, couple of athletes going at it, and the ground got involved pretty quickly. One of the few times tonight we've seen some real intentionality to have Vanami running the ball.
So it'll be 2nd down and 7, ball at their own 23-yard line. Shotgun snap, roll out here for DJ Vanami. Fires one deep. He has a man open, and it's incomplete. Dropped at the last second. Pass was intended
number 10.
For number 10. That is Kobe Lampman, the senior receiver. And he had the defense beat over top, just could not quite haul it in.
Yeah, again, really good decision by the Kemper offensive staff. Underwood brings in a new DB, and that is the guy they go after right away. Just again, if Kemper could get some guys that could just on the receiver position that could match up with what Von Ami can do with making plays, they're really going to be dangerous.
3rd down and 7. Fakes the handoff. Von Ami back to pass. Looking, has time, now pressure coming, flips it to Chris Moore, and Moore has it. And the line to gain is the 30. We'll see if he got there. It's close. I could not see on the near sideline. It looks like they're going to give it to him, which I believe would be the right spot. We'll see. They might have to measure it. No. Nope, they're just going to give it to him. So the chains will move, and that's a big 3rd down conversion for the Knights there.
Yeah, bang, bang deal. Interesting. Underwood's outside backer goes to Von Ambi. He pitches right over top of him. Slow play that a bit and see what happens, but it's hard to make those decisions. It's easier from the booth than on the field.
So 1st and 10 from their own 30. Chris Moore goes in motion. It's going to be a fake handoff, and it looks like the ball's on the ground, and they're going to say it's an incomplete pass.
Well, that ball never crossed the line of scrimmage.
So I would think that would have to be intentional grounding if it's either a fumble or it's intentional grounding, but they're not going to call anything here.
Boy.
Vanami gets away with one there. It was a fake. It was an RPO. He faked the handoff, and he tried to throw it across the middle. It looks like he just held onto the ball too long.
Well, those 50-50 calls tend to even out as the night goes on, but normally Coach McKelson's pretty vocal on deals like that, but that should have been a grounding call.
Underwood has gotten away with a few of their own, including the Alex Ravlin ghost sideline play on that punt. It'll be 2nd down and 10. It's going to be a pitch to Tay Vanami on the outside, and he is stopped in the backfield. Wyatt Baker in on the stop for the Underwood Eagles.
Yeah, heck of a play. Great pursuit. You start getting this thing vertical for the Eagles, or get that thing east and west for the Eagles. That's playing into the scheme of, athletes on the field, their track program, some of the things that they really specialize in.
7:21 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
It also kind of looked like one of those plays where you either major in the option or you minor in the option, and when you minor in it, your pitch relationship's kind of odd.
The clock should be running. I'm not sure why it's not. The clock has stopped at 3rd down and 11. And fake the handoff, back to passes Vanami. Pressure coming. Savin chasing him down. Vanami still looking downfield, and he's just going to toss it, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Chris Moore. Moore was wide open and had green grass in front of him, but he couldn't hang on. DJ Vanami, another incredible play to extend it. Gage Savin was putting the pressure on him, but Chris Moore couldn't hang on. It'll bring up fourth down.
And if I'm as much respect as I have for the Kemper staff, the only thing I'm doing on Monday is working on scramble drill. I mean, you know, short guys go long, long guys come short, and we're going to work on catching that ball and matching up with this young man's skill set because he's got some special things there that could help your program.
7:11 left in the third quarter. Kemper sends the punt team out on 4th and 11. Mason Boothby standing at his own 39, and that one is away from Chris Moore, and it will bounce at the 35, and Boothby's going to let it go all the way down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Boothby probably had a chance to field that one, but instead, they lose about 16 yards on that decision by Boothby.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Hadn't had a chance to really get his hands on many all night long, but that was his best opportunity, and I'm sure one that he'd like to have back.
So Underwood will set up shop 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Exactly 7 minutes left in the third quarter. 14-14 the score. Class 1A District 8 championship on the line between these two top 5 rated teams in Class 1A. Ravlin will take the snap. He's going to keep it himself on the read option, and he gets hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for about a yard or two. It'll bring up second down.
He's going to watch that play with his younger brother in the morning and go, you know, if you get your hat on hat there, brother, we got a few more yards out of the deal.
He actually got 4 yards there. I'm not sure why I said a yard or two. Depth perception's a little off here tonight, John. Back to passes. Ravlin looks to the outside. It's caught, but not much of a gain. Josh Ravlin made the catch at the 24. It's a gain of 2. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yep. This is the down right here where you got to have Ravlin be your playmaker. He's got to do something to help move the sticks. I don't think you can count on inside zone being your play call right now.
6:18 to go in the third. 3rd and 5 from their own 25-yard line for the Eagles. Handoff, no, fakes the handoff, looks across the middle, and it's caught by Ravlin, and he has the first down to the 35, and the ball's on the long ground. The ball is loose, and the Knights have it, it appears. No signal from the officials yet. And it's Kemper ball. Wow. So Josh Ravlin made the catch, had the first down by a mile, and then coughs up the ball, and Kemper takes over, and that's the second Underwood turnover of the night.
Yep, +2 in the turnover margin. That's how you win close games right now. So, again, 35-yard line, short field. Can the Underwood defense answer the bell?
1st and 10 from the Eagles, 35 for the Knights after the turnover. And one that, if you're Underwood, you could really feel that momentum start to shift. From the Knights side to the Eagles side, but now it has flipped right back over, and now a power run look here from the Kemper Knights as Tay Vanami takes it to the 31. It's a gain of 4.
Does it feel like they only run the I formation because they want to boot Vanami off of that?
Yeah.
It sure feels that way to me. I mean, you know, nice play off an off-tackle play. But it sure feels to me like they want to boot that guy and get him in some high-low action and makes these Underwood outside linebackers have to make a tackle on a really superior athlete.
Well, and Tavanami, the running back, the senior running back, he is a big dude. I saw him in the bathroom last week. He's large. He is not a guy that is easy to bring down if he gets into the open field. And fake the handoff, look to the outside. This one is caught on the far sideline. That's Kobe Lampman, and he's down at the 29-yard line, so a gain of a couple. It'll bring up 3rd and short here for the Knights.
That is perplexing execution on the perimeter because the blocking on that was phenomenal. They had Underwood totally outpositioned. How that only got 2 yards is beyond me.
I definitely thought I got more. I said 3rd and short. It's not. It's 3rd and 5.
Yeah.
From the 29-yard line.
Underwood just slipped a block, made a tackle. I mean, they made up. They were behind in that play, but they made up for lost ground in a hurry.
Shotgun look here for Vanami on 3rd and 5. Eagle defense showing blitz. Back to passes Vanami. Pressure comes right up the middle. He's going to scramble. Now he's looking downfield. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Has it inside the 25 to the 20. Inside the 15. Breaks a tackle to the 11-yard line. DJ Vanami with a huge run on the scramble. And the Knights have a 1st and 10 in the red zone.
Excellent play by the junior signal caller. Just letting his athleticism do what it needs to do.
And so now Kemper is going to go tempo here. 4:32 to go in the third quarter, trying to regain the lead. Vanami back to pass. They're going to roll him out again, this time to his right. Pressure coming from Wyatt Baker, and Vanami just has to throw that one away. Heads-up play by Wyatt Baker to chase after the quarterback and force him into a bad throw.
Baker,
and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Baker does such a great job on sprint out, just triggering right now and putting pressure on the quarterback. He is just clutch on that. Play after play, he never misses.
And that, I mean, I think that's the first time Vanami has thrown it away tonight. He is so good at extending plays, but that time Baker able to force him to finally throw that one away. One that I'm sure made the Underwood fans breathe a sigh of relief, because as soon as Vanami gets outside the pocket, you have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He is quite the playmaker. It's 2nd down and 10, ball on the 12-yard line. Shotgun here for Vanami. 2 receivers split out to the right. And he's going to take the snap. It's going to be a keeper right up the middle, and he's stuffed. Max Tark's in there on the stop. And a whole host of Eagles, including Sam Schoening and Maddox Nelson in there on the stop.
Yeah, a little more single block on the night. Boy, all year long it's been the district philosophy to double the Eagle front. So it's given the Eagle defensive front a chance to get a little more involved, make a few more plays tonight. But I think down here you got to let Vanami be your guy. Think players, not plays. That was always a Bill Callahan line back from his famous time in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, yeah, that was a really good time. I'm sure you loved those days. It's 3rd and 9 from the 11-yard line for the Eagles, or excuse me, for the Knights. Big one here for both teams. And we get a flag, and it looks like it's going to be a false start on the offense. They tried to hard count Underwood again. They've gotten them so many times. But this time they don't. That is the only time tonight that Kemper has jumped on their own hard count, because every time before that, it's been an offsides call on the Eagles.
It's a great call by Kemper. It's something I wondered why they weren't trying to get to a little sooner. Let's reestablish, those types of things steal momentum, intensity from your team when you're making those mistakes.
3rd down and 14 to go. Ball on the Underwood 16-yard line. Vanami comes out in the shotgun. He's back to pass. Pressure's coming. He's going to flip it to Vanami, who can't make the grab. The screen was set up. He wouldn't have gotten the first down, as Graham Jensen was closing on him quickly. But either way, the pass is dropped, and it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, another frustrating play for the Knights to watch. Something that's set up, something that's well designed, just not executed. So
they're going to bring out Tommy Fitzsimmons to try this field goal. It's going to be about a 33-yard try. Fitzsimmons is 1 for 2 for field goals on the season, but he's 41 for 41 on PATs, so he definitely has the leg. We'll see if he can knock it through here to give the Knights the lead. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is nailed. 32-yard field goal is good from Tommy Fitzsimmons, and the Knights regain the lead. 17-14 your score. We'll be right back here on the KMA Extreme.
In to the Do Drop In for fantastic daily food specials. For lunch on Monday, chicken fried steak. Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. Wednesday is a wild card. Thursday, bacon cheeseburger, fries, and chocolate cake. And Friday is a sirloin steak sandwich. And for supper specials, on Thursday it's roasted chicken, and Friday prime rib. Open 11:30 till 9 weekdays, till 2 Friday and Saturday, and closed Sundays. Drop in to the Do Drop in McClelland for great family food and drinks with friends.
Welcome back into the KMA Extreme. Nick Stavas and John Tarks bringing you this Class 1A District 8 championship game. 3:19 to go in the third quarter. Tommy Fitzsimmons will boot it deep for Kemper after making a 32-yard field goal to give his team the lead back. And this is going to be, I believe this is Easton Robertson on the return here for Underwood, and he has some space out across the 30, outside the 35 to the 42-yard line goes Robertson. A beautiful return from the sophomore, and that is a guy who you've talked all year about what he can contribute to this team as just a sophomore, and that time he gives the Underwood Eagles great field position.
Yeah, he's certainly got a bright future. He just needs opportunities and reps and a chance to grow and develop, and he's somebody that's going to score a lot of points for the Eagles over the next 3 years.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Underwood from their own 41-yard line. Ravlin comes out on the shotgun. 2 receivers split out on either side. Boothby goes in motion. Ravlin takes the snap. It's a handoff up the middle to Maddox Nelson, and he has room outside, out across midfield. Looks like he almost lost the ball again. But that time he is brought down at the 49-yard line, so it's a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and short.
You know, it's interesting watching the outside linebacker play. We've talked so much about the guys on the roof from Kemper, but their outside linebackers are playing more at depth. You know, there's definitely more push out of the Eagle offensive line, but the alignment's a little more conducive to running the ball as well.
2nd and 1. Handoff. Nelson again has a big hole inside the 40, and he's finally brought down at the 35-yard line. The holes are opening up in the second half, and this offensive line is getting in a rhythm. Another first down for the Eagles at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, it's time to feed the horse, as I used to say. You found your man, you found your scheme. Make them stop it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Ravlin in the shotgun, back to pass.
Touchdown.
Pressure coming, looks deep. Wide open is Josh Ravlin for the touchdown. Josh Ravlin gets behind the defense. Miscommunication in the secondary, all alone. And the Eagles regain the lead in the third quarter.
You ever seen that clip of Lane Kiffin when he knows he's got a touchdown before the play is called? He takes his clipboard and wings it like 8 miles in the air. Coach Richards could have done that on that play because that was clearly a broken coverage by the Knights.
What happened there? I missed it in the secondary.
The safety, he must have went for a broad or something because he was nowhere to be found.
So Josh Ravlin with his 2nd touchdown grab of the night from his brother Alex. And Bayshore's extra point is knocked through, and it is good. So with 2:21 to go in the third quarter, we have quite the game here. Underwood with a 21-17 lead over Kemper. We'll be right back here on the KMAX stream.
Chat Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
Welcome back into the KMAX stream. Nick Stavas and John Tarks bringing you this huge game in Class 1A. 21-17, Underwood has retaken the lead on another big pass play from Alex Ravlin to Josh Ravlin. A blown coverage from the Kemper secondary. Gus Bayshore boots it deep here, and that's a good kick. It'll be fielded at the 8-yard line. And it gets out across the 20, and he's brought down at the 25, and that is where Kemper will take over. Benjamin Gherkin on the return for the Knights. So what do you need to see from this Kemper offense to respond?
You know, Kemper, yeah, they got to respond. I would look to get back north and south, the things that you did early in the game you did very well with. And, you know, you've really at some point in time, your guys on the edges have got to start catching these balls. I mean, if his athletes on the edges can catch balls from him, they might have a 2-touchdown lead right now. But as it is, Underwood's got their first lead of the night, and momentum's clearly blue and white right now.
21-17 the score. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights from their own 25. Fake the handoff, look to the outside. It's a screen pass to Kobe Lampman, and he has some room on the edge out across the 30 to the 34. Nicely done there. Good execution. And Kemper sets up 2nd and short.
Yeah, excellent play call. Nice job blocking the perimeter. The Eagle defenders have got to play space a little bit. They got stacked, almost tripped each other up. That could have been a bigger play call had they tripped over each other.
So it'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 1 from their own 34 for the Knights. Trips to the right for DJ Vanami, who is in the shotgun. Now a receiver comes in motion. That's Siebenaller. Handoff up the middle. It's Tay Vanami, and Vanami is stuffed back at the 33-yard line. It's a loss on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, the Eagles got just a little more thump, a little more lead in their pencil this half, and they've played that way. You know, they're only up 4, but they're up 14-3 this quarter. It's certainly been a much different Eagle team.
So it will be 3rd and 2 from their own 34. Big down here. I formation for Kemper. It's going to be DJ Vanami on the keeper, and he stretches it forward and has the first down. Well done there by DJ Vanami, the quarterback. At least I think he has the first down. It sure appears that way. We'll see where they mark it. The referee on the near sideline keeps drifting backwards. Underwood thought they got the ball on a fumble. Alex Ravlin is trying to tell him that he coughed it up, but it is a first down, a gain of 2 yards when they needed 2 yards. That'll move the chains for Kemper.
That's the second or third time tonight Kemper's gotten a first down just by splitting hairs.
So it will be 1st and 10 from their own 35. This will likely be the last play of the third quarter. It's a fake handoff back to passes. DJ Vanami, he's going to go deep down the sideline. He overshot his man. He had Trevor Ryle sort of open. Alex Ravlin was coming over from the safety position, but Vanami just overthrew everybody, and he has a cannon on him.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's a few college recruiters know his whereabouts. I got to tell you, I'm not all in on the white helmets for Kemper. I'm a traditionalist. I walked up here tonight expecting to see that yellow helmet that's, they want a state title in a yellow helmet. They've been to the playoffs a lot of times in a yellow helmet. I don't get this white.
Took you to the third quarter to mention that, huh?
Well, it's been bugging me since I got here. I'm just going to be honest.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball in their own 35. Just 16 seconds left in the third quarter. Shotgun snap for Vanami. He hands it off to Tay Vanami, and once again he goes nowhere. Gage Savin in on the stop in the backfield. The defensive end coming off the edge for the Eagles, and that'll bring up 3rd and long. And that will likely bring us to the end of the third quarter, and it will. So we have 12 minutes to decide the Class 1A District 8 champion. Number 2 Underwood with a 21-17 lead over number 4 Kemper as we enter the fourth quarter. We'll be right back here on the KMA Extreme.
Believing. That's what you'll hear from customers that choose Barrett Auto Center of Glenwood time and time again. Barrett customers come in for vehicles and service work, but they come back for conversation and honest advice. They want one of the largest pre-owned and fully serviced inventories in KMA land, and they return when they've gone elsewhere and it just isn't the same. See and believe for yourself how little differences add up to a better car buying experience. Come back to Barrett's and Barrett's Auto Center.
Welcome back into the KMA Extreme. Nick Stavus and John Tarks bringing you the Class 1A District 8 championship game as we enter the fourth quarter. It's going to be a big one. 21-17, a 4-point lead for the Eagles. And Kemper has 3rd and 11 at their own 34 to start this quarter. It'll be trips to the right for DJ Vanami in the shotgun. Back to passes Vanami. He has some time. He's going to look deep across the middle. Flag down to the backfield. That is overthrown by Vanami over the head of everyone. And it looks like the flag is in the area of holding, but we will wait for the call. If it is, if it is, Underwood will decline, and it is. So the penalty is declined. And that's another big stop of this Underwood defense that has been really good in the second half because the only chance Kemper has had to score points was on the fumble inside their own territory.
If they awarded the district championship right now on body language, it'd be on the bus going back to Underwood right now. There's just a lot of momentum in blue and white and a lot of frustration. And I guess Kemper red and white, as we were discussing here a little bit ago.
It's a tale of two halves, though. I mean, it was the total opposite in the first half.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
All the fire was on this near sideline with Kemper. Underwood looked flat as could be, and now this script has totally flipped in the second half. The punt there by Chris Moore. It's going to be fielded by Mason Boothby at the 33. Fair catch is made, and that will bring the Underwood offense back out on the field. So Maddox Nelson has been your moneymaker in the second half. The offensive line has been the moneymaker for the second half. Maddox Nelson has found the holes. I assume you just have to keep going back to that.
Yeah, I tell you, when I was coaching down in your stomping grounds down in Glenwood, Corey Foster was at us saying, punish. It's time to punish. And if I'm the Underwood staff, it's time.
Kemper going to try to hold tight here and give their offense the ball back. Of course, there's still 11 minutes to go, but like you said, the momentum has flipped, and Alex Ravlin now has some room. It looks like there's a holding on the edge, and there is. 2 flags fly in. Ravlin is still going down the sideline, but this one is coming back. That was probably the most obvious hold I've seen in a long time, and that is going to, unfortunately for Underwood, negate a pretty big gain there by Alex Ravlin.
And you see Kemper making a schematic change in the defensive line. It looks to me like, as opposed to 3 down, there's 4 down right now. So Underwood's game, it was a really good execution there by Ravlin to pull it and get on the edge. You know, I think you can still try to get north and south up front, but the edges look to be where Kemper's going to be vulnerable right now.
Well, and that's that man again, Chris Moore, who just forced that holding call. He is a nightmare for anyone who's playing Kemper, as this is going to be a little flip pass now, a reverse from Ravlin to Boothby. Boothby around the edge, and this one is bottled up by Kemper. They were smart to the trick play the whole way. And we have an injured Knight on the far sideline there. John.
It looks like Healy over there might be down for the Knights.
It looks like he's okay, just stretching out his leg. John, I do have to ask you, though, if you're Underwood, you have run it up the middle inside zone with Maddox Nelson over and over and over again to great success in the second half. You come out in this drive, you run a read option that gets called back for holding and then a double reverse. What are your thoughts on those calls?
Oh, you know, I mean, if you don't have the holding call, Underwood's got a first down on first down. I'm sure that double reverse is something that they had on their play card that's been burning a hole in their mind the whole night. But it also gets the ball in the Boothby's hands, who you think is one of your guys. Just that compression of that formation, it made me wonder. It was unusual for Underwood. It made me wonder if something's happening. But you still do have a couple downs here, but you do need to get 18 yards at this point.
So that's Evan Adams who comes off the field. Looks like he's just fine. He'll have to sit out of play, though. It's second down and 18 here. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle. This is Maddox Nelson, and he fights forward through the pile, able to get about 6 yards out of it, so it makes it a little more manageable. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Yeah. That holding penalty looks awful big right now.
Still 10:58 to go as we tick under 11 minutes here in the game. 21-17, Underwood with the lead. They have a 3rd and 12 at their own 30. Kemper crowd is getting loud. The snap. Back to pass, Ravlin, and he is crushed right as he lets that one go. Josh Ravlin was able to make the catch, but Chris Moore in there wreaking havoc once again. The gain goes for about 2, well short of the sticks, and that'll bring out the punt team for the Eagles.
Yeah, some sort of hitch-and-go scheme with Boothby in the slot. I just think there's some opportunity there for the Eagles that they haven't cashed in on just yet tonight, but still could be there when needed. It might not be a 3rd and long type of call, but if they could get a nice chunk on first down, that'd be something I'd sure take a shot with him out.
So the snap is on the ground, and then we just have a little toss and a turnover here. It'll go down as an interception. It was caught by Kobe Lampman. The snap was bad. Ravlin had no choice but to just try to huck it as far as he could. It will go down as an interception on the stat sheet, but it's a broken punt, and once again, Kemper will take over deep inside Underwood territory.
Yeah, even if the snap is good, there were 3 guys off the edge coming there where the pressure came from. So, you know, clearly this is a part of the game that Kemper's won pretty handily so far tonight. But 30 yards to go yet.
Special teams definitely a facet that Kemper has gotten the better of so far. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Kemper takes over in prime field possession again. Back to pass is DJ Vanami. He has all day to throw. He's going to look deep to the end zone, near side corner, and that one is almost intercepted by Josh Ravlin. He wants a flag really badly. He's claiming that the receiver was, I believe that's Durkin. He was pulling on his face mask. I didn't see that, but either way, it's incomplete.
Yeah, that's the second time tonight that Underwood's had inside position with an opportunity to pick the ball and hasn't come up with it. So, in essence, right now, Underwood playing with the lead. -3 turnovers. That is generally a hill you don't get over in a district championship game.
2nd down and 10 now. Ball on the 30-yard line. 10:37 to go in the game. Some movement on the defensive line, but they get back in time. Now the handoff on the jet sweep to Chris Moore gets about 2 yards. Jack Van Fossen in on the stop for the Eagles. It'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Yeah. Boy, with some reliability on the edges. I mean, I've said it all night. And the fans are probably getting sick of listening to it. But, boy, Kemper could be another level elite with some step up and play there at the receiver position.
Under 10 to go here in the game. 3rd and 8 from the 28 for Kemper. Trailing by 4 in the Class 1A District 8 championship game. Vanami in the shotgun. He fakes the handoff. He rolls out. He looks to the outside, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Trevor Ryle on the far sideline. Throw was short. 4th and 8 now.
Play was probably made by Tarks there, getting pressure. That little boot play. Vanami just didn't have a really clean opportunity to make a pass. Had to get rid of it quicker than he wanted to, and here we sit 4th and 7, 4th and 8.
So a big play here for both teams. Big Thomas Hunnicky in there looking to the visitors' sideline, trying to pump up the crowd. It's 4th and 8, 9:45 to go in the game. 4th and 8 from the 28-yard line for Kemper, trailing by 4. Vanami comes out in the shotgun. He's got trips to his right, one split out to his left. Back to passes Vanami. Has all day. Looks across the middle, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Chris Moore. He couldn't hang on, and it's a turnover on downs. And if he holds on to that ball, it is a touchdown for the Knights. But Chris Moore, who has been superb tonight, unable to make the catch there, and Underwood takes over.
Kemper needs to invest in a glue factory around here. Them boys get a little stick-em. I'd find some old school stick-em, sneak that in the huddle. I'd have that crap dripping off my hands the rest of the game.
Well, pine tar maybe. They're doing such a good job getting open. You can tell they're running the right routes. They're beating their man. They just, a couple opportunities that they have missed dropping the ball, and now Underwood takes over with the lead at their own 28-yard line. 9:38 to go in the game. It's 1st and 10. Josh Ravlin goes in motion. Alex Ravlin takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Maddox Nelson, and he doesn't get far, down to the 30-yard line, a gain of 2, and a late flag came in here on the near sideline. It was after the whistle had already been blown. We will see what they call it. It was Chris Moore in on the stop along with Will Healy.
You got Josh Ravlin clapping. He'd normally, face mask.
We're going to get a face mask on Kemper. It's a spot foul, so it's only about 5 yards, but it's an automatic first down, so a huge penalty there. Kemper has been fantastic tonight in terms of avoiding mistakes like that, in terms of avoiding penalties, playing disciplined football. It's been Underwood that has made those mistakes, but that time it goes in the favor of the Eagles, and it's not an automatic first down. It's 1st and about 4 yards now. The spot fouls in high school football always.
That's kind of wild. Yeah, that one's got me a little.
Always mess me up. It's 1st and 3. Might be the first time I've ever said that. 1st and 3. It's a screen pass to Josh Ravlin on the near sideline. He slips one tackle, makes a move out across the 40, out across the 45. Another flag comes in, and he's down at the 47-yard line. But this one could be coming back. We'll see what they call.
I think they got Tarks for a block in the back.
And that is precisely the call, so that will move Underwood back. It'll remain first down. And it looks like we see where they spot the ball, and it looks like we're right back where we started for the most part.
Just your traditional 1st and 8.
1st and 8 now, so 2 penalties in a row makes it 1st and 8. 9:18 to go in the game. 21-17 the score. Underwood with the lead. Trying to put this game on ice potentially, but they have a long way to go. Handoff up the middle to Maddox Nelson. He has room, breaks one tackle, gets out across the 35, and that is about as far as he'll get. They mark him at the 36. He's thrown down after the whistle, and there he's going to be about a yard short of the first down, so it'll bring up 2nd and short here for the Eagles.
Yeah, I certainly feature the ground game with Ravlin and Nelson if I'm Coach Richards making these play calls right now.
And just like that, Ravlin takes it up the middle, has the first down. He was hit hard there, and he ran over, looks like Will Healy was in there on the stop.
Yeah, some screws got loosened on some equipment on that play.
A hard collision. Those are the hits that I wish we weren't in the box so we could hear them.
Yeah, no doubt.
1st and 10 either way, ball on their own 40-yard line. Ravlin goes in motion, handoff up the middle to Maddox Nelson. That one is blown up by the Kemper defensive front. Will Healy in on the stop, and that's a loss of 3.
Yeah, kind of an odd, just the timing. Kemper was ready to come out of the blocks, and Underwood was wiping the nacho cheese off their chin or something there. I mean, 2 different attitudes about the play.
8 minutes now on the dot to go in the game. Shotgun snap on 2nd and 13. Ravlin rolls out, looking downfield, and now he's going to make one move. He makes a man miss out across the 40, the 45, still scrambling across midfield. He has the first down, and nice play by Alex Ravlin with his legs. It's a 14-yard gain, and it'll move the chains for the Eagles.
Yeah, really nice play by the Eagle signal caller. Good discipline by the Eagle front not to hold. One of the more frustrating things in the world. I mean, you know when you're holding somebody, you know. When you've got somebody like Ravlin, man, let the guy loose. You don't have to hold.
Shotgun look here for Ravlin. Handoff up the middle to Maddox Nelson, and he has yardage. A nice hole out to the 43-yard line, so a gain of, we'll call it 6 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 4.
It feels like that RPO that Ravlin fumbled on earlier in the third quarter is really available right now. It feels like the zone read pull game with Ravlin is really available right now. Underwood has got some things at their fingertips that make them pretty dangerous right now.
So we have an injured Knight down on the field, and he's no longer down on the field. But either way, we're going to take a quick break. Sorry, John, to interrupt you. We're going to take this chance to step aside. We'll be right back here on the KMAX stream.
Best in convenience, it's Cubby's. Stop in today for hot and fresh food, plus that local spirit that you'll always find at Cubby's. And when it comes to pizza at Cubby's, with every large pizza sold, Cubby's gives $1 to the local school district with the Raise Some Dough program. In fact, Cubby's contributed $29,855 in 2021 to local schools for educational and athletic purposes. Just another reason to stop, shop, and eat at Cubby's. For the Cubby's near you, go to Cubby's.
Welcome back into the KMAX stream after that injury timeout. It is 2nd down and 4. The injured Knight was Logan Siebenaller. He got off on his own power, though. Looked like just another cramp. 2nd and 4, and it's going to be a little toss to Easton Robertson, and he is crushed by Chris Moore. He came around that corner, and Moore came running in from the side. I'm not sure he saw him, and Easton Robertson pops right back up, but he took a lick right there.
That was a good job by Robertson to put his foot in the ground to get north and south when he did, because that just wasn't going to be one that you continued to string out and you were going to have success with.
3rd down and 3. Huge play for both sides here, especially for this Kemper defense. 6:42 to go in the game. 3rd and 3 from the 42-yard line. Boothby goes in motion. Now he retreats back to where he started. 10 seconds on the play clock. Ravlin in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself right up the middle, and he breaks free, has the first down and more inside the 40, inside the 35 to the 31-yard line goes Alex Ravlin. A huge gain by the senior quarterback, and he is starting to put this offense on his back down the stretch here, John.
It's such an interesting play call because the back is still just a touch sidecar. He always ends out squirting out the side opposite the back. I mean, he kind of leaves himself in harm's way. One of these big mamma jamma somewhere is going to get their hands on him and have something to eat, I think. But it's been effective so far.
6 minutes to go in the game. 1st and 10 for Underwood, trying to put this game on ice. Trips to the left for Alex Ravlin. And Ravlin's going to go ahead and let this play clock tick all the way down. I don't blame him. If you're Underwood, you want to chew as much clock as you can. Now the handoff up the middle to Maddox Nelson. And he has it inside the 30. And he's down at the 27, and some grievances being aired here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think they're too happy with the Eagle offensive line.
I didn't see it.
If we'd had the Zebras from last week, they'd have thrown about 6 flags on that, I think.
So it'll be 2nd down and 7, gain of 3 on the play. 5:19 to go. Back to passes, Alex Ravlin. He's going to look deep for the end zone, and it is caught! Touchdown! Mason Boothby in the far corner of the end zone, and the Eagles extend their lead. What a pitch and catch from Alex Ravlin to Mason Boothby, his top receiver, and Underwood takes a 10-point lead.
Yeah, excellent play call, and then excellent timing of the call. Excellent matchup. There's an awful lot about Tim Richard I like as an OC, and it's sure on display right there.
5:11 to go in the 4th, and Underwood has taken a 2-score lead. A chance to go up one more here with Gus Bayshore to kick the extra point, and it looks like the Kemper defensive line jumped off sides. It's not going to really matter much. He'll move the ball up about a half yard.
Awful lot of finger pointing going on down there.
What a huge play. What a gutsy call. What a gutsy throw from Alex Ravlin. And that is one that you don't make unless it's your senior quarterback who started for 3 years, who knows this offense inside and out, who has carried this team through these last 3 years, and he makes the throw when it matters most.
You almost bait him into it, standing there watching the clock run down, and then you throw a 9.
And a great catch by Mason Boothby there, because it was pretty good defense underneath by the Kemper defender. The kick is up, and it is good. And so with 5:11 to go, the Underwood Eagles have extended their lead. 28-17 the score here in the Class 1A District 8 Championship game. We will be right back here on the KMAX Stream.
Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
Welcome back into the KMAX Stream. Nick Stavas alongside John Tarks bringing you this Class 1A District 8 Championship game. Number 2 Underwood with a 28-17 lead on the road against number 4 Kemper. And now a squib kick is giving the Kemper returnmen some issues, and it's picked up at the 5-yard line. And he will be brought down. That's Chris Moore at the 15. And so a nice kick coverage, and this Underwood sideline is fired up, John. 5:06 to go, and they can smell a district championship here.
Yeah, they sure can. You know, this ball game isn't over, but if it's Kemper, you're going to need to put together a productive drive. You know, you might be in the, 4. I would say you're in 4-down territory right now with 5:06 to go. And then once you score, you're looking at onside kicks. So these are types of things as a coaching staff you got to be thinking about. What are my 4th down calls? What are we doing for an onside kick situation? You got to be thinking ahead in this particular environment.
1st and 10 from their own 16. Big hill to climb for the Knights. DJ Vanami in the shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff back to pass. Looks across the middle, and it's caught. And down at about the 29-yard line, that is Trevor Ryle on the reception. And it's a gain of 13 yards and a first down. And if there's anyone that can walk a team down the field, it's DJ Vanami.
Yeah, heck of a snag there by Ryle. That was a rifle of a shot.
Back to pass is Vanami again. He rolls out to his left, looking, firing downfield, and it's caught again. Trevor Ryle once again on the outside. And Jack Van Fossen is down on the far sideline. I think that is why Trevor Ryle was so open. Van Fossen was on the coverage, and it looks like he is injured on the far side at the 40-yard line. The ball is spotted at the 43. It's a gain of 13 and another first down for the Knights, while Van Fossen is being tended to.
Yeah, it might be a good time for the Eagle defense to maybe rethink their posture. It's been a little bit of drop 8, kind of casual. Boy, Kemper's come out here firing and aggressive and has had 2 of their most, successful back-to-back passing play calls of the entire night.
So it will be 1st and 10. Van Fossen gets off the field under his own power.
I'm kind of curious to see who Underwood brings in here for Van Fossen.
Outside linebacker.
Yeah, they got Roberts. I wonder if they wouldn't bring an extra DB in the ball game.
And that is exactly what they do. Easton Robertson, for not being in the starting lineup, Easton Robertson sure plays a lot of football for Underwood.
He's the type of guy who can get pretty sticky in press and man coverage. And yep, they're going to move Schoening down there. Well, you got me saying Schoening now. You said it earlier.
I know.
Yep, that's a good decision there.
Schoening takes over at the outside linebacker position. Robertson comes in at corner. Back to passes Vanami on 1st and 10. Looks to the outside. Caught by Tay Vanami at the 44, and he doesn't get much more than that. Graham Jensen trying to rip the ball out, but Vanami holds on. It's a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
A little more what the Eagle defense needs. Keep that clock ticking.
Second down and 7 at their own 45. 4 minutes to go in the game. Back to passes Vanami, rolling to his right. Has time, still surveying the field. Now he's going to just step out of bounds. He's going to get he actually got a few yards there. He got about 3 yards on the scramble out to the 48, so it's a gain of 3. It'll bring up third down and about 4 now for the Kemper Knights.
Yeah, heady play. You got 2 downs to get 4 yards. You got an excellent coaching staff and a stud getting the ball at the snap. You got to feel good if you're Kemper right now. You got to feel like you're on schedule to have a chance to get down there and score.
So it'll be third down and 4 now from their own 48 for Kemper. 3:52 to go in the game. Knights need points fast. Trailing by 11 points. Back to passes. DJ Vanami has time. Still surveying the field. Now the pressure coming from Gage 7. Now Vanami rolls out. He's going to fire one downfield. Knocked away by Alex Ravlin. A beautiful play from the senior safety. As Earlbeck was standing wide open on the sideline, Vanami found him, but Alex Ravlin comes in at the last second to tip it away.
Yeah, that's a big play by Ravlin because that dude was open. Really like DJ Vanami, though. Man alive. I mean, as much as I love Alex Ravlin, Vanami's got to be the all-district quarterback. I mean, get to dicing this thing up. They'll probably meet at a pizza ranch sometime on a Tuesday here to figure that out this week.
Is that... 4th down and 5, ball in their own 48. Vanami back to pass, pressure coming, steps up in the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run, and he has the first down. At the 46-yard line of Underwood is where he goes out of bounds. 3:36 to go in the game, and that moves the chains again. A huge 4th down conversion there for the Knights.
I don't mind what Underwood did there, man. Let's go get this dude. Let's not let this athlete dictate to us. I really like, and it's part of Underwood's defensive, philosophy. We want to be very offensive with how we attack you. One of the bigger attempts of the entire evening there.
1st and 10 from the Eagles' 46-yard line. 3:36 to go. Handoff up the middle to Tay Vanami, who has space for the first time tonight. And Vanami bowling over tacklers inside the 30-yard line of the 28. Goes Tay Vanami, his biggest run of the night by a long shot. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights. And now the tempo here, 3:26 to go in the game. Vanami in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, looks to the outside on the screen. Trevor Ryle on the catch, but a beautiful play by Mason Boothby, defensively able to make the open field tackle. It's a gain of 2 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, excellent play by Boothby. He's been pretty big here in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Still a lot of time for Kemper, but time is getting away from him here.
2nd and 8. Back to passes Vanami. Low snap, but he handles it. Time to throw, and then fires it, and it's caught by Kobe Lampman, and he's unable to get out of bounds. He tried to cut it upfield. He got the first down, so the chains will move. Ball is spotted at the 16-yard line. 2:49 to go in the game. Kemper, last gasp, putting together a really nice drive here. DJ Vanami in the shotgun, trips to his left. Vanami back to pass. Pressure coming, and he's going to flip it forward, and it is no signal.
Intercepted by Maddox Nelson if they get the play call right.
They're going to call it incomplete. Ooh. It looked like Maddox Nelson had that one in his grasp, and that would have probably been the game, but the Knights live to fight another day. I obviously didn't see it. I certainly thought it was picked off, but we can't really tell.
I wonder if he bobbled it after he had it, because it sure looked like a clean reception. But
can't really tell from this far up, but really good pressure there by Gage Savin in the backfield, forcing Vanami to just kind of flick that one forward. It's 2nd and 10 with 2:30 to go. Ball on the 26-yard line. Vanami in the shotgun, trips to his left. One receiver split out to the right. Vanami takes the snap. He fakes the handoff. He's back to pass. He has time. Now the pressure coming off the edge. Vanami looking to the outside, and it is incomplete. Pass was intended for Chris Moore. Yet another drop for Chris Moore, who has been so good tonight, but that's a couple passes now that he has had huge plays and just unable to hang on, and it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, there was a second there. You kind of thought that that was going to be a touchdown because he was kind of down there in pylon area with nobody around him, but the ball was stuck in the quarterback's hands.
So it will be 3rd down and 10 from the Underwood 26-yard line. 2:23 to go in the game. Kuemper trailing by 11, trying to put together a miracle comeback here in the Class 1A District 8 championship game. Shotgun here for DJ Vanami. Man in motion. Vanami back to pass. He's going to look. He's going to fire it to the outside, and that was somehow caught by Tay Vanami. It's a gain of 4, but I'm not sure it's exactly one you wanted to catch, as the clock will run. If he would have just
gonna do a field goal here.
Dropped that one, but it is a gain of a couple, so now they're going to kick a field goal. Tommy Fitzsimmons out to try the field goal. The kick is up, and it is good, so they make it a one-possession game. Well executed there, John.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's pretty clutch coming through. You know, he's only made 1 field goal the entire season, 1 or 2 coming in, and that's not exactly a, faint-for-heart moment to go out there and kick that ball through the uprights.
Especially in a hurry.
Yeah.
They had to hurry that field goal team on. Tavanami caught that pass. Obviously, you're trying to make a play on the ball, but I'm sure, that's one that maybe you don't catch. You save about 30 seconds, but either way, It is a one-possession game now, and it comes down to an onside kick. Now, mind you, Kemper does still have 2 timeouts left, so Underwood will likely need a first down if they do recover an onside kick. But 28-20 the score now. Kemper with 2 timeouts, trailing by 8 in this Class 1A District 8 game, championship game, and what a game. I got to catch my breath. You need to talk for a few seconds here.
Yeah, how much time have you taken in practice going over onside team? How much time have you going over hands team? How well coached is this? If you're that front line here for Underwood, slow rollers you want to dive on. Hot shots you want to let get through. If the ball's in the air, that second line of guys, you want to fair catch this. If that ball pops in the air, fair catch it. If you're Alex Ravlin and the ball comes deep, just get the ball, don't be a hero, take a knee. Those are the coaching points for the onside team, or for the hands team here.
Tommy Fitzsimmons to kick the onside. It bounces, and it is fielded cleanly by Maddox Nelson. Underwood ball with 1:54 to go.
Well, that was none of that, but Underwood's got the ball, so I don't know. I don't think that kick was quite what Kemper was looking for, but it certainly is an excellent play by Maddox Nelson, because that was not an easy play to be made. I'm guessing Coach Andy Van Fossen, the Underwood baseball coach, is sitting around going, maybe that guy needs a glove come summer.
So it will be 1st and 10 for Underwood. You'd think 1 first down in this game is over. 1:54 to go in the game. 28-20 the score. Underwood with the lead at their own 49. Handoff up the middle to Maddox Nelson. He breaks free inside the 45 of Kemper, down at the 43-yard line. And Underwood is starting to feel it on that far sideline as the clock ticks down. 1:40 to go in this one. 28-20 the score. And they are about 3 yards away from a district championship, I would think.
Entertaining. A little bit of the old Bush push there. Give you the mesh, give you the ball, and Ravlin says, get going, young'un. Gives him a little shove to encourage him. That A-gap looks like the place you ought to be.
So 1:21 to go now. Kemper still has 2 timeouts. They're sitting on him here. Are you a little surprised they didn't use one there?
Well, I guarantee they're going to use one here in a real short amount of time.
And Alex Ravlin will keep it up the middle. He has the first down. That will essentially end the game, but Ryan Steinkamp, I believe, will take his timeouts. I mean, you can't take them with you.
Oh, heck. Make that Underwood center snap that ball over his head. Let's try to go +4 in the turnover battle here.
And it looks like they're going to let this clock run.
Nope, never got a timeout.
There's the timeout from Ryan Steinkamp. 54 seconds to go, 28-20 to score. So barring something disastrous for Underwood, they will likely win this game. A couple kneel downs will probably do it. So just talk to me about this second half from Underwood, totally flipping the script from that first half.
Yeah, it is pretty unique to be able to get your kids to play basically 2 different halves from an intensity and commitment standpoint. But, kudos to Coach McHaleson getting that out of the guys here in the second half. To play in a district championship game against a top 5 opponent in the state, an undefeated opponent, and to go -3 turnover margin and to potentially come out of here with a win, that's no small task, but it also tells you what the Eagles are capable of if they can put it all together.
Yeah, and so it will be likely a kneel down here and probably another timeout from Kemper. You might as well, like you said, make them keep snapping the ball as the takes the knee there.
Now, Greg Schiano would not do what Kemper just did. He would have the smelliest, biggest, baddest, toughest 3 guys over top of that center, and he would be making him think about that snap right now.
So it looks like they're going to have to snap the ball one more time. And it is going to be a Class 1A District 8 championship for the Underwood Eagles. They've been superb all year. They were challenged tonight by a Kemper team that absolutely belongs in the top 5 in Class 1A. But Underwood able to flip the script in the second half after a really rough first half and come away with the victory. Your final score from Carroll, Underwood 28, Kemper 20. The Underwood Eagles are Class 1A District 8 champions for the second year in a row, the first time in school history, as they climb to 8-0 and cap off a perfect regular season. An impressive performance from Coach Michaelson's team in that second half. You talked about it. So, John, just talk a little bit more about that and maybe a little bit of what you saw from Kemper there in that second half that ended in this result.
Well, I think it just was a matter of punch, counter punch. I mean, hats off to Kemper. Things you take away from this to them, the quarterback plays phenomenal. The coaching staff, if I'm the athletic director at Kemper, I feel great about the direction of my program and the leadership I've got in place, because they were exceptionally well coached. I think there's a couple small things, if I'm Kemper, I'm looking to work on between now and the playoff games, and that scramble drill is at the absolute top of the list. Any type of ball catching, anything like that, those are things that if Kemper can make 1 or 2 or 3 or more of those catches, they're really going to have something. But Underwood's got to feel great about where they're at to, obviously come on the road in a tough environment and, not have your best, this is probably a B- effort out of the Eagles. I mean, probably a C, D type deal in the first half, and then, B+, A- here in the second half. So definitely a wake-up call for Underwood as the playoff action begins. And, if you're Kemper, the message I'm preaching to my guys right now is this. I want to play these guys again. I want to get, let's make sure this is a quarterfinal deal with a road trip to the Dome on the line. And, that's a reality we haven't really talked a lot about tonight. But both these teams, this just could be round 1 of 2, depending upon what we find out from the boys in Boone here just a little bit later tonight.
Yeah, talk about Alex Ravlin, John. I mean, he just kind of put the team on his back, especially that long touchdown drive to basically put the game on ice. Just talk about his senior leadership tonight and the way he was able to perform in that second half.
Well, we talked about it briefly in pregame about, who's going to win this quarterback battle. I certainly felt like Von Ame won it in the first half. I thought Ravlin clearly won it in the second half. Just running the ball, making a few tackles. He had that big pass breakup down here, throwing that ball on a dime. Man, that touchdown call with 5:11 to go, that was an icy call by Underwood. I mean, you stand down there, the play before, literally letting that clock tick, 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 tick down, and then you throw a 9 the next play. I mean, that is, you talk about emotionally kind of getting between the ears of what's going on out there. That was really, I thought, was kind of a genius way to do that. But it was also an opportunity and a chance there, too, that Underwood took. But you had to get Boothby the ball. I think as you get down to winning time, I think Boothby's really, really key for Underwood. You've got some guys that can go vertical. You got some guys that can be your possession receivers, but I really think Boothby's your guy to really take the top off of things and to really be your big play guy, kind of your Xavier Hutchison from Iowa State, if you will. That guy, he's somebody you got to find ways to feature. And I think if you're Underwood, you're 3 deep at running back, but I think you've really established that Maddox Nelson is your guy. And it really felt like as Underwood opened this thing up in the third quarter, they really wanted to make sure to find a way to take Thomas Huneke and put him in positions to make the key block, to be kind of the can opener on things, if you will. It just looked like several times as Underwood was gashing, Huneke was taking somebody in red and yellow and putting them towards the sidelines, and Nelson's getting vertical. And those are things that really bode well for Underwood. I won't lie. Thomas Huneke, in a short 20 years worth of coaching and 10, 15 more than that just watching the game, he might be my favorite 1A lineman that I've had the opportunity to watch. There's just a certain level of physicality that he brings to the game, a desire to finish, a toughness. He just generates so much strength in such a short amount of time. It's just such a short period. He'd have been a phenomenal, I always said this, if he could have been a guard in a double-wing offense back in the day, Brad Knight somewhere down there at Clarinda, I know those guys, P.J. Hedrington, they would have made hay with a guy like Thomas Henneke playing guard in a double wing offense.
So it is a 28-20 victory for the Underwood Eagles. They are the Class 1A District 8 champions. Kemper falls to 7-1 on the season. Underwood caps off a perfect regular season. Certainly two teams that we will hear a lot more from heading into the postseason. Again, the final score 28-20. Underwood with the victory. John, it was a pleasure calling this game with you. It was
Absolutely.
a fun one.
Always.
I appreciate your time, man.
No problem. Anytime, man.
All right. Thanks for listening. That's it for us here on the KMAX Stream.